stupid decisions and go all in.
Hello.
Hold on a second.
Hi.
What are you even talking about?
Welcome
One last
to
chance? You're not dying.
stream.
You're just graduating high school, okay? Relax.
വേറെ ഒന്നുമല്ല
Everything you just
ഇന്നത്തെ
said gets
ടൈറ്റിൽ
infinitely easier from here on out, okay?
അറ്റാക്ക്
Trust
ഓൺ
me, you're really
ഡെയിലീസ്
overthinking
എന്നിട്ടത്
this. Anyway, so this
ചില
movie is kind of
ആൾക്കാർക്ക്
like love,
എനിക്കറിയുന്നത്
actually, but
ആർ
as a summer
നോട്ട്
teen
വെരി
we get a bunch of
ക്യാഷ്
similar,
മണി
somewhat
അബൌട്ട്
intertwined
മൈ
stories
ഡെയിലീസ്
over
പരിപാടി
the course of the last summer
So,
of our lives. Or whatever.
വേറെ ഒന്നുമല്ല
Second, this
ജസ്റ്റ്
video,
അതിനു
I'm
വേണ്ടി
just gonna focus on
ഇട്ടതാണ്
the main story,
വേറെ ടൈറ്റിലൊന്നും
Archie and
കിട്ടിയില്ല
Phoebe.
ഇന്ന് വലിയ
Griffin and Phoebe. So first
ഇന്ന്
off,
വലിയ
we have
പ്രത്യേകിച്ചൊന്നും
Griffin, who
നടക്കാനൊന്നും
moved away
ഇല്ലായിരുന്നു
to
അതുകൊണ്ട്
some
എനിക്ക്
fancy
ടൈറ്റിൽസ് ഒന്നും
private
കിട്ടിയില്ല
high
സോ
school,
ഒരു
but
ഇത്
recently
വന്നപ്പം
moved back to
എടുത്തിട്ടെന്നേ ഉള്ളൂ
Chicago. Phoebe is trying to get
ഷൗട്ട്
into
ഔട്ട്സ് ടു
NYU filmmaking,
എന്റെ
so this
അറ്റാക്കർ
summer she's
പേഴ്സണലി
focusing all her
അറ്റാക്കിങ്
time on making
But
like a
anyways,
documentary
ഞാൻ
movie type thing to
stream
hopefully get like a
തുടങ്ങിയേക്കാം.
scholarship or a
Dailies.
grant or something. And of course that means no boys. Now in typical teen rom-com fashion, the movie actually starts when all the characters are at some big like high school graduation party, which for some reason looks like a Tokyo nightclub. But I don't even see anybody playing spin the bottle, okay? So talk about a lame party, am I right? By pure happenstance, Griffin walks by Phoebe and then he has one of those moments. But like, can we
Match
just like for a
found.
second here? What is Phoebe doing? They're at this party, music. Well, somehow we're back here again. You know, as if having to watch He's All That and Cinderella wasn't bad enough, the universe continues to spit in our faces with the release of After We Fail, the third installment in the movie franchise that proves that we are living in a simulation that no one is maintaining. So hey, what do you say we strap ourselves in, get ready for, because it's time we gotta do more after the movie. Let's take a walk. Okay, so as per the end of the second movie, after arguing about nothing and making up for the 400th time, Tessa and Hardin ended up running into this homeless man who turned out to be Tessa's long-lost father, who drinks like he's auditioning for Mad Men and has no self-control, ended up tearing his own life apart, which is interesting given the fact that Tessa's dating, like, you know, I mean, right?
The prodigal father has returned. What for? What do you want?
You can stay if you want to.
Are you still drinking?
I don't know, Hardin, are you?
Listen, I know exactly why you're here, so you may as well just take this and be on your way.
I don't want your money, kid. All I want is a relationship with my daughter.
If you hurt her,
Yeah, you better not hurt her, okay? The only one who's allowed to emotionally damage and traumatize Tessa is me. Now, also, as per the last movie, which I've desperately tried to forget, but here we are, Tessa got a job offer in Seattle that she's really excited about, but she hasn't told Hardin yet because she's really worried about how he's gonna react and what he's gonna do.
എന്താ നടക്കുന്നത്
you're going away in a week. You haven't bothered to even tell me.
Well, when was I supposed to tell you? Because you left. This job's a huge opportunity for me, and I'm hoping, I was hoping that you would come with me.
I was hoping that we could move to London after graduation.
And how was I supposed to know that?
But I mean, it doesn't really matter anymore, does it? You've got a plan. You've envisioned your life in a way that doesn't even have me in it.
You are in it.
Okay. All right, buddy. We are 5 minutes into this movie, and they're already fighting. Now, later that day, Tessa gets a call that she needs to come pick up her dad and Hardin from the bar because they were being rambunctious, shall we say. Which, you know, I mean, like, maybe it's a little weird given the fact that 3 minutes ago, Hardin was like,
Are you still drinking?
so I guess we're just giving up on the whole self-awareness thing? But hey, don't worry. Hardin then goes back home and lays on the bed in his underwear. So, like, come on. What's Tessa supposed to do? Have self-respect? Get out of here.
You know, I'm not sure that I like this new friendship.
I offered him a ride, and the bar was actually his idea.
He's an alcoholic, and so are you.
Two alcoholics walk into a bar.
Nah. Don't laugh at that. That's not even a joke. That's just what happened. Are you kidding me right now? Tessa had to stop everything she was doing and go get her dad and boyfriend, who are both like mentally 12, you know, taken back home like a mom picking up a kid from soccer practice. And then Hardin's just like, well, hey, I mean, since we're here, might as well. Well, shoot, you talked me into it. Anyway, now that Tessa's dad is back on his feet, he just kind of like leaves for like the entire rest of the movie almost. They made it seem like such a huge deal that he's back in Tessa's life now, and then he's just gone after like 15 minutes. But either way, it's been like 30 seconds since our main characters last had a fight, so guess what they do?
It's not like I want to leave you.
You don't have to.
Vance's offer is literally, it's a dream come true. I've wanted to live in Seattle since I was a kid, and the only thing that would make it better is if you came with me.
You know I don't really fit into that flashy lifestyle, and it's never been the kind of thing you've been after. So.
Wait. Flashy Seattle lifestyle? What, you mean the city where everyone wears flannel shirts and goes to restaurants where you have to, like, eat food out of a shoe or something? That's too flashy for you?
Hey, I'm listening.
I've wanted this
I'm
job
listening.
since
I
I
know.
was-
I know.
This is a nice
You have a
spot.
great job in Seattle. That is great. I'm happy for you, but I don't. I don't have anything there.
You'd have me.
Okay, that's not enough.
Well, if I'm not enough, that's your problem, but you're not gonna stop me.
Yo, this is like the angriest I've ever seen Hard in the entire series. Okay, who puts an empty box of Frosted Flakes back in the pantry? Who does that, Tessa? Now that weekend, Tessa and Harden go up to the lake with Tessa's friend, whose name I can't really remember because he basically does nothing of any consequence in these movies, and also with his friend's family. So you know, it's just wonderfully awkward. Having just made up again, things are pretty good between Tessa and Harden on this trip, which of course means that all we gotta do is just
Last player standing. Spike planted.
Pardon?
Hey, Lily.
How are you?
This is Tessa. Tessa Lillian.
May the wind guide your blades, Jet.
Uh-oh, I saw that look.
And
I know
my
what's going
arrows.
on here when she's all like, nice dress. Everybody, okay, Tessa gets her sweet revenge by talking to the waiter.
Is there anything that you'd recommend?
The cedar plank salmon is our specialty.
Okay. I'm more into like pasta.
Squid and spaghetti.
This goes here.
It was lovely to see you and to meet you guys, but I'll have to
That goes there.
Too fancy. How about we whip you up something special?
All right, hold on a second here. So, like, Harden gets to be all touchy-touchy with these Instagram model girls, but Tessa talks to the waiter like a human being one time, and then Harden's all like,
Spike down A.
oh, hey, whatever, it's fine, because thanks to all the extra tension, Tessa and Harden end up doing the old
Devil's Tango.
Last player
You know, one of the
standing.
grossest places you could ever possibly Okay, like literally 1 second. It's all like, hey, let's talk about Trevor. I'd rather not. Did you ever like him for like
We gotta
3
pick.
minutes,
We
I
move
guess?
in.
Did you love him? No. Did you hear what I just
Reloading.
said? Oh, yeah, well, I think you did, so now I'm grumpy.
Hey, seriously? It's not fair. Harden!
Now, later that night, Tessa's out by herself, and what do you know, she runs into that waiter guy from earlier, and they get to talking about life and a bunch of boring stuff, whatever, who cares? But you'll never guess what happens.
Yes, this should do.
I sure want a coat.
I'm really sorry.
Goes here.
You don't have to apologize.
Sorry. It was nice meeting you.
Scanning ahead.
Me too. If someday you find yourself in the city,
But you know, real talk here, okay? This guy's kind of a sleazeball, right? Because, like, he knows she has a boyfriend, but he's still like, hey, in case something ever happens, I'll be your backup plan. You know what I'm saying? But then also, like, Tessa keeps it anyway. I mean, it's one thing for her to get all harumph about some dude flirting with his girlfriend or whatever, but then for her to get his number and keep it, like, I don't know, man, this doesn't really seem like the smartest thing she could have
Spike
done. But all the
planted.
same, guess who's having some feelings?
One enemy remaining. Last player standing.
We were gonna be more open with each other.
No charges left.
no, I just found another
Oh,
guy's
they
number
tried.
in the thing.
Okay, Harden, but like, have you ever thought about maybe instead of just brooding about it all morning and then jumping to conclusions and letting it all just explode out of nowhere like this? What if you just asked her about it? I mean, the way this dude deals with his feelings is such a dumb,
Last
immature way
round
of doing
in
things.
the
Like, why
half.
would anyone ever do that?
Yeah, Alex, who would ever do that?
Hey, who asked you? Get out of here.
You guys just met. How could you be friends?
This is what you do. You sabotage every good moment that we have.
No. If I wanted to try and sabotage the hanging, I would brought up your moment with Trevor.
Why can't you just let
That
things
goes
be?
there.
Like, let us
Gun
be
here.
happy for once. You don't get to choose who I have as friends.
They don't want to be your
This is a nice spot.
okay?
But then after this fight, which is like the 12th one so far in this movie, Harden's being all Edward Cullen in the car as they're about to go home, and this is when Tessa and her friend's dad, I think, have a little hard time talking about how to live that
Camera
life.
taken out. Take flight.
Enemy spotted A.
Spike down A.
Get out of my way. Sound sensor up.
He loves you, and he knows that you're the best thing that's ever happened.
Throwing next. Problem solved.
Yeah, that's it.
Okay, Mr. Dude, man.
Last player standing.
Whatever. But like, this is the worst advice I've ever heard. Hey, so like, I know Harden's the most toxic, manipulative, and emotionally stunning person you could ever date, but actually, it's
One enemy remaining.
Because, you know, he likes you. But anyways, given everything that's happened with Harden so far, and the fact that Tessa really wants to take this job in Seattle, she just kind of decides
Switching
to up
sides.
and go there and just move in with her bosses without telling Harden,
me a
which,
moment.
of course, Harden takes
I need
very
to
well.
see-
But all the same, now Tessa's up in Seattle living out her big girl dreams.
How's it going? Fine. Yeah, I mean, work, school. It's a lot,
Yeah, let's
but
go.
I can tell you're pretty stressed out by the fact that you're sitting here on the couch eating an entire box of dry cinnamon toast crunch to like either you're going through things or you just murdered somebody. Now Harden, being back home in the apartment all by himself, he finds one of Tessa's journal diary things she left behind, I guess, which just has the word pain written like 800 times, and he's all like, wow, dude, this is so deep. And somehow reading this convinces him to follow her up to Seattle.
Bring your best.
Revealing area.
Oh, hi. What are you doing?
Nothing else.
I'm so happy to see you. I haven't had a fight with anyone in like 48 hours. I didn't know what to do with myself.
You can.
Why this
Plant
noise?
spike.
Really sorry, but once I picked it up, I see what you're doing.
Nope.
Oh, it's Jet.
You want fucking healed it.
Last player standing.
I
Team
especially like the
Ace.
part about,
Oh,
Harry
not
Styles
our
and
rank,
Yo-Yo
boss.
Courage the Cowardly Dog. That was a heck of a time.
Match
Came
point.
across the page about
You are a little more important
Reloading.
than words, I'm
I
afraid.
just wanted to apologize.
Look
The way I
out
made
for
you
each
feel
other.
is inexcusable, so I'm sorry.
Well, hey, Tessa, look at that. Harden's finally apologizing. Again. But this time, I'm sure he really definitely means
That
it.
goes
Right?
there.
Yep, totally. So now that everyone's up in Seattle for the time being,
Yeah,
Tessa
that
gets some
maximize your
more
volume
useless
already.
advice from adults who love to pretend like they actually have their lives together.
This is really nice. No. Together, under one roof. You two will work it out. Sometimes distance is a good thing. Look. Relationships. Complicated.
What? What? That's it? That's your advice? Well, you know, Tessa, life sucks. Tell your friends. Anyway, so the movie just kind of goes on like this.
Yeah.
Harden and Tessa are doing pretty good for now. There's a lot of back and forth, you know, where Harden's like, oh, Tessa, I don't want to lose you. And then Tessa's like, oh, cool, thanks.
Here.
Now, one day, they end up doing the old devil's tango without putting on the proper protection. And of course, given how these kinds of movies always seem to go,
look
you'll
up,
never
so
get
nice.
that.
Yeah, let's go.
This should keep you pregnancy for the next 3 months.
Scanning
My
ahead.
concern is you may not
You
need
can
it
attack.
after soon. You may not be able to get married.
That's right, nothing. Literally nothing happened. Except Tessa finds out that she can't get
Last player
Well, now she
standing.
can, like, as much as, I mean, they can just, you know? Now, the end of the movie just kind of comes out of nowhere. Harden's mom is getting married to the neighbor guy that she was dating in the second movie, and despite not wanting to expose Tessa to his old life, Harden brings her all the way to London anyway, because they're in a good place right now, and nothing could ever possibly go wrong.
Defenders
Except, of course,
win.
in the middle of the night, when Harden walks in on his mom and that Christian Vance guy who gave Tessa the job, and he's also been like a father to Harden most of his life, you know, that guy. Anyway, Harden walks in on those two doing the old devil's tango. There's just so much of this in this movie. And, you know, he has some thoughts about this.
It's not what you think.
You're getting married tomorrow, and the love of your life, Kimberly's carrying your child while you're here.
No.
You're getting married tomorrow. Did you forget? What are you gonna tell Mike?
Harden. Christian and I. He's.
What?
It's not that simple.
And so then there's the wedding the next day, and then the guy's like, wow, I can't believe I found such a pretty lady who's so faithful and trustworthy. And then Harden's just like sitting in the back like... But then, right at the very, very end of the movie, okay, Harden sits down with Christian, Tessa sits down with his wife, and that's when we get the big reveal.
I know you feel betrayed.
Match found.
I want to explain myself.
You know, I wish I could say I'm surprised.
I was going to tell you ages ago, but your mum didn't want.
Tell me what?
Harden is Christian's son.
So the moral of the story is, if you have history with someone, then you can do whatever you want, and it's not cheating or bad or whatever, because they said so. And that's pretty much where the movie ends, with a to be continued, unfortunately. But anyway, so turns out there's gonna be 3 more of these movies over the next forever, and I, for one, have learned to accept my fate. So get ready for like 10 more years of Tessa being like,
I used to think that I could find a guy. Maybe I could just fall in love with someone who actually liked me.
Came back, and I came back for you.
I couldn't get a hold of you for 9 days. I didn't know if I'd ever see you again.
So I never gave up. I just kept on searching.
actually
But
part
I
ആണ്.
found out pretty quick I got no self-esteem. So now I'm stuck with the first guy who called me pretty. I could do a lot better, but right now I'm in way too deep. Now I gotta put up with him forever. Maybe I should have looked at his tags and maybe I shouldn't ignore all the red flags. Turns out it's not that fun to date a guy that's stuck at 14, who can only express himself by crying or screaming. I guess it used to be fun back when I was daydreaming. But now I got a job, ain't got no time for this stuff. The other day I almost fell, walking on all the eggshells. Movies always make me
Spike down, B.
fighting and yelling is how to do it right.
One enemy remaining.
With no maturity, fixing it is your responsibility. So here I am, the saddest I've ever been.
अरे सुनना यहाँ पे वो है अपना
But I can't go back.
स्पाइक हेवन पे
Scanning ahead.
So I
Is done.
अरे सोवा सुनना लास्ट राउंड में एक इमॉर्टल कह रहा है साहब और उसकी बहुत कान जल गई. क्या करना चाहिए ऐसे मोमेंट में सोवा? लोग सोवा भाई उसको हम लोग वो एक किल पे बैठा था तो हम लोग खाली उसको पूछे कि इमॉर्टल लोग ऐसा खेलते क्या? वो हाँ भाई 0 किल पे था वो, तो वो गुस्सा हो गया और गाली देने लग गया. क्या करना चाहिए ऐसे टाइम पे सोवा?
Revealing area.
नीडल
नहीं ए पे ए पे ए पे ए पे ए पे
Somehow they make three of these movies. But you know, this one was one of like my first big hit videos back in the day, you know. So to be honest, I kind of have a soft spot for this series. If you haven't seen my videos on the first two series, I recommend you check those out. But just to summarize what happened last time, Lee's going off to Berkeley, and Noah's currently going to Harvard.
Deploying drone.
She built the world's greatest initiative.
well, to be honest,
नाइस. दो लोग ऊपर है.
Reloading.
This brings us to the
हेलो हेलो
Before that, really quick, this video is brought to you by Surfshark VPN. Somehow, in 2021, pretty much everyone knows what the VPN. I mean, everybody needs one, but Surfshark VPN goes above and beyond your typical VPN. You can use it on as many devices as you want.
Spike planted.
They offer their Surfshark alert service that checks to see if your personal data has been leaked.
मिड पे होगा देखो.
Passwords, that kind of thing. So you can stay one step ahead, as well as their Surfshark
Last player standing.
private and organic search engine,
Heaven.
free from data tracking and overreaching algorithms. And get this, you can sign up to Surfshark VPN today.
एक फ्लैंक आ रहा है. सीटी आया.
83% off the rate.
One enemy remaining.
ऐसी सीटी आया.
You get premium VPN services and
आ गया सीटी आ गया वो.
any device or all of them at the same time. Plus, 3 extra months. So if you don't have a VPN, then you really need to sign up. But even if you already have one, go to use the promo code Alex Myers to get Surfshark.
Clutch.
if I act superior, it's because I am.
5 of them, or whatever. Anyway, the movie starts out with a woman after my own heart. You can't have it though. Before they have to go on to be adults and, you know, think about 401ks and cholesterol.
Yes, would like that very much.
Yeah, I thought you meant. See ya.
Where are you two going?
Wants to read me poetry and tell me all about it.
Oh boy, can't wait to hear what this Neanderthal's been writing in his notebook.
Hey Al, this is for you.
For me? Now, let's see. You have a face, and it's good. Every time I see it, I
Scanning ahead.
Take flight.
There they are. Shock dart. Stay down.
Oh, I see that face. I know what's going on here. She's probably thinking the same thing we all are right now, which is, why is Lee so good at Cell or whatever this is? I mean, come on, what else you hiding there?
Side.
Right here.
Having lunch with Lee and Noah's dad, Archie from Riverdale's mom for some reason. And here's where we get to the main shtick of the
Last player standing.
Well, actually, now that you mention it, if that's cool.
We just have some news for you.
Last round before the switch.
We can't take anything with us after this.
So long story short, they come up with and then they can just sell off the beach house after everyone goes out to school and fall. So our main characters move on in, and while cleaning up the house a bit one day, Elle and Lee stumble onto something a little interesting.
No. Wait, is that what
Let us hunt.
Yes. Beach bucket list.
A long time ago, Lee and I
Scanning
out of
ahead.
my way. Crazy things we wanted to do together before going to college. It was all of our childhood summertime
एक है ना
fantasies.
जेट एक है ना
Over. You're dead.
I love how the list is just a bunch of
My ult is ready.
Spike down A.
when I was like 10 or whatever, and I also made a list of all my childhood dreams and fantasies, you know? And
ए साइड पे है सीटी आएगा
find a way to build Scylla, Jupiter, and Scylla, Mars, and
बाइक डाउन है यहाँ पे
why did I even bother bringing you in this world? So after this, just randomly, I don't know where.
तो जेट साइड पे
One enemy remaining.
नाइस
Satchel out.
बाइक ले लिया क्या
Here comes it. My ult's ready. We're gonna talk every
Switching sides.
day, and I will see you all happening.
Act on my intel. Don't give them time to reposition.
We can make this summer a blast, I promise.
Yeah, kind of like you promised about rule number 19.
Are we really still doing this? How are these people still so obsessed with all these rules they made up when they were like 6 or whatever? Like some kind of Game of Thrones blood oath or something? You promise we will watch every episode of Yu-Gi-Oh! together. But you didn't keep your promise.
Happen to be holding some list, so we could make this our best.
La la la.
You're saying
Track them down.
we do this whole list this summer.
Revealing
तो
area.
यहीं पे आजा.
Ah yes, rule number 18.
Nice
Always be
recall.
happy for your bestie's successes. And of course, who can forget the most important one? Rule 35.
Nice.
Patrick? All right, hold on.
साइड साइड आओ भाई साइड
We get like 2 or 3 more months.
Guys, come side.
Elle and Lee doing stuff on the fantasy bucket list.
Feeling sighted.
You'll never guess who shows up.
Need heal. Okay, sorry about the baby.
Shock dart.
Oh my god.
Well, would you look who it
Wall
is?
down.
Captain Adam's apple himself. I'm on it.
एक यहाँ पीछे से आ रहा है जेट तेरे पास.
One enemy remaining.
Are you hanging out at the
Revealing area.
जेट kill him.
बारो रे ये बहुत बड़ी कहूँ
यादों की बारात निकली है आदि के द्वारे.
Let's keep it going.
For the summer, and he offers to let her also stay at the beach house with him.
ओपी उल्टे
Which could either be the most awkward thing of all time, or give us some great Wattpad fanfic, you know what I'm saying?
Going back to the town, I told her
tear them down?
Okay, I'm sorry, but like, what is ancient history, Elle? The fact that
Scanning ahead.
Reloading. Enemy spotted B. Spike carrier down.
Take flight. Found them.
Spike down B.
Marco and his family eating at the restaurant, and bomb buddy out.
Enemy spotted B. My ult's ready. Gun here.
One enemy remaining.
Satchel out.
Chalo boys,
Attackers
GG.
win.
The city is safe.
Shock dart.
चलो जी.
Yeah, that's pretty much what I just said. So skipping ahead a little bit, one of the things that is on Elle and Lee's bucket list is to have this big, like, go-kart race thing or something, and they end up finally doing it in what is possibly just the most bizarre, like, took too much melatonin dream sequence I've ever seen in any Netflix movie ever.
battle pass epilogue आयले.
Oh, they're dressed like Mario.
Match found.
What did we sign up for with this movie? Now, seeing that Marco was helping Elle with her Mario Kart fantasy thing, Noah throws a fit and does what any jealous boyfriend would do and join the go-kart race. So Noah and Marco are competing to, like, win the race, while everyone else is just kind of throwing bananas and slime balls at each other, or, like, whatever the heck is going on in this movie. And long story short, Marco beats Noah, and therefore completely nullifies all of Noah's manliness, and now, legally, Elle has to date Marco, because, I mean, that's how this all works, right?
Close one.
Anyway, so because of all this stuff that just happened, Elle and Noah have a big fight about Marco and a bunch of other stuff. And Elle has the genius idea to confide all of her thoughts and feelings in Marco, of all people.
My family and the job and just trying to make it up to Lee after lying about Berkeley. I just feel like I'm running around like a crazy person. As far as living with Noah in Boston goes, oh gosh, how much time you got?
As much time as you need. Why don't I come back at the end of your shift? We can keep talking.
Really?
Sure.
Yeah, I mean, you know, we can just, like, talk tonight. I'll be here for you, you know? Wow, you do all that for me just to be friends with no ulterior motives? Oh, yeah, sure. Yep, definitely. But that night, right when Elle's shift ends, would you believe Noah shows up and works his magic by leaning on the jukebox like he's been holding a fart for like 3 days?
The Mortal Kombat pre-order beta എന്നൊക്കെ പറയുന്നു.
Anyway, so the movie continues on with more bucket list shenanigans and all that, along with Elle trying to maintain the
Match
friendship with Lee,
found.
work her job, keep the peace between Noah and Marco, which, like, I'm sorry, but, like, why does Marco even need to be part of any of this, Elle? Like, okay, he's hanging out there for the summer, like, fine, he can do whatever he wants. But, like, all the problems in this movie so far are because you just can't not hang out with this guy? And Marco, my dude, okay, like, Elle's kind of cool or whatever, I guess, but Noah has Elle, and you could have, like, any other girl on the beach. I mean, you look like this, and you have a guitar. Like, you could just Genghis Khan this whole town. Then there's this part where they play volleyball, and Noah gets revenge for the go-kart race, which leads to this happening.
This little innocent friend thing you got going on, nobody's buying it. It's very clear what you're here for. Really? Still want Elle?
But Noah decides to be the bigger man and just walks away from all this.
Please say something.
I asked you not to let him back in our lives.
That's what I've been saying the whole time. Come on, you go off to college in like a month, Elle. Like, what do you care if you're friends with Marco or not? So then the next day, Elle is wondering where Noah ran off to, but then suddenly just like magically figures it out and goes to find him.
Hi.
Hi.
You know, I talked about this back in the first movie, but like, you can't just go up to the Hollywood side. Like, if they actually tried to do this, it'd probably just be more like...
You were right about Marco. I'm really sorry I didn't handle that well.
This is private property. Evacuate the premises immediately or you will be taken into custody. Also, he's not even all that, Elle, okay? The dude's just like 3 feet taller than you. But anyway, all the same, Elle and Noah then have a little heart-to-heart talk.
I don't want to be one of the people who makes you put yourself last. I don't want to be responsible for a decision you make that you're going to regret. No, listen to me. Now you can reapply at Berkeley. No, you can go to school with Lee like you wanted. I know better than trying to stop you going to Boston. But if you do decide to go, it's not going to be with me.
Oh, come on, Elle, it's not that bad. I mean, yeah, okay, he's got that candy corn jawline going on, but like, I don't know, this dude's got the personality of like a basketball some kid left on a roof. Trust me, you'll be fine. But yeah, so Elle and Noah break up, and then Lee and Rachel break up, and then Lee's mom gives some actually pretty good advice in maybe the only good scene in like the whole movie.
Other than Noah, why did you want to go to Harvard?
What do you mean? It's Harvard. Yeah. Why wouldn't I want to go there?
True. Maybe it's time that you think about what it is that you want to do. Figure out what your dream is, what you're passionate about, and then choose a school based on that. And not let anyone or anything change that.
And so what ends up happening is Elle decides that she's gonna go to USC to study video game design, which is like pretty cool, but like she never really expressed any interest in that kind of thing, other than playing Ori and the Will of the Wisps just like randomly throughout the movie. Rachel heads off to Rhode Island, Lee goes off to Berkeley, Noah goes back to Harvard on his hot guy squinting scholarship, and Marco takes a little different approach.
Like you said, I'm not the one.
Apparently, neither is Noah, so.
But I'm glad we got a chance to say goodbye before I go.
Finally pick a school?
No, I'm going to New York. I want to try to work as a musician there.
And hey, if that doesn't work out, I could always just make POV vampire boyfriend TikToks, you know, because that's a thing for some reason.
Wait, really? You never told me you wanted to go to New York?
I've always wanted to go. But besides my family, there is only one thing keeping me in LA, and that's all over now.
You guys only did like one kiss. What's wrong with it? Reloading. Cuts to 6 years later. Elle looks a little different now. We find out that Lee and Rachel got back together, and then Noah just walks right up, looking like he's still just holding in that fart.
Hi, Noah. Can you believe this?
No, I don't want to look at it.
What?
I don't know, you seem so grown up.
Oh, really? Because I was going to say you look like Slender.
Where
going
are
to a
you?
4th grade spelling bee, but hey, sure, whatever, that works too.
You know, it feels like yesterday you were crashing your scooter down the driveway.
Bring them down.
So you have this haircut now and also a motorcycle? You wouldn't also happen to have a Subaru outback, would you? 'Cause I'm starting to wonder if Noah ever target spotted. And then I'll stay Noah's butt for a while when he goes off to find some of his other friends in the most unintentionally hilarious scene in the whole movie.
Barrier deployed. One enemy remaining. There. Where are you? Still waiting.
What is this? What's happening? Did he die?
Reina,
Why does Noah look
after
like
you
he's
take
floating
from the
off into
fallen,
fifth
what
dimension
remains?
right now?
It makes me wonder.
This dude looks like Shaquille O'Neal at the end of the scene. But yeah, so that's pretty much where the movie ends. There's not really much else to say. I mean, I guess I did kind of like how, rather than taking the overly romantic approach that To All the Boys 3 did, like Elle just stumbling her way into Harvard aside, I did appreciate that somehow the movie had like a semi-quasi-realistic take on the whole like breaking up and going out to college thing. So
Stay focused.
there's that, I guess. Hey everybody, so my girlfriend Kelsey and I sat down and we recorded about an hour-long podcast
find you.
going more in depth in our thoughts about Kissing Booth 3 and kind of the Kissing Booth series in general. So I'm going to link to that
Part
down
one.
below. And here's just a little snippet of that podcast.
Hey guys.
Ultimate's ready.
That's how Noah talks in that's how Noah and Marco talk in
Bring them down.
Yeah, but I
Bring them down.
We found one.
When you do it, it sounds like Buffalo Bill. Or where it's like,
Catch them.
So, what are we here to talk about today?
One enemy remaining.
generation, Kelsey. I'm so glad you asked. We're talking about
I'll find you.
Netflix masterpiece. Cocomelon. Can we talk about the Mario Kart part?
Oh my god.
Like
Add
they
a
dropped
tally
so
to the
many
board.
hints about like Mario Kart is all through this movie.
Yeah,
Because the brothers playing Mario Kart, and then also but when they find the list of the bucket list, it's inside of a Mario Kart lunchbox.
So they had some kind of deal with Nintendo. Right?
There's some bizarre licensing deal with Nintendo. And so the thing about this movie, Kissing Booth 2 and Kissing Booth 3 were both filmed back to back.
I got you, bro.
Now, I don't know how that correlates with
Reloading.
King and what's his bucket's relationship. I don't know.
Where are you?
It would be something like that, wouldn't it? What's like a
Feeling
typical
safe.
rom-com hot guy name that people always have that like no one ever has? Like Alan or like
Bring them down. Feeling safe.
What's like a hot guy name? Yeah, like Helen.
Bring them down.
Spike down B. Last player standing. Flawless.
Stand up, please.
Last round in the
Oh,
half.
Mission Leader 3 പുതിയ ചാപ്റ്റർ വന്നു. Let's go.
Disney Chanel original movie. Now that movie didn't didn't really make a whole lot of sense, but the basic premise, as goofy as it was, but anyway, just a week or so ago, Disney gave us the sequel to Zombies with a very clever name, Zombies 2, and now we finally get to see what's been going on with Addison and Zed and all the other characters who don't have their own coloring books. So just for the sake of time, I'm going to assume that you
They
either
are
seen the first
mine.
movie before, or you saw my video, or maybe you just don't care either way, whatever.
Get out of my way! I'll find you.
We're a strong,
Mark 1.
and tight-knit community. Reloading. And that's a good thing, because it wasn't always the
So yeah, thanks to all the zombie dancing at the end of the first movie, all societal problems have been solved and everyone's best friends now because I guess the village follows the but that's where we get the new twist.
Spike down B.
settlers came to see them. They found wild beasts with sharp claws lurking in the forest.
Last player standing. Flawless.
The whole idea was that Seabrook was this utopian paradise until the zombies came or whatever, right? But then
Switching sides.
First thing, like, just kidding, there's been demon monsters
Look
here the
out
whole
for that
time.
rage,
I mean,
fam.
Disney Channel's
Corner,
just
you
over
blow
here
it
trying to
up.
make their own Riverdale, I tell you what.
Seabrook settlers bravely fought off the monstrous attack and discovered a powerful energy source. Realizing they discovered a precious resource, they safeguarded it from the beasts.
So yeah, there you go. Just a whole bunch of zombies extended universe lore for you, I guess. But anyway, so after this, in present day, once again, we meet our old buddy Zed the Zombie, and he explains what his new life in Seabrook is like.
Seabrook is getting rid of all of its old anti-monster law. So now, Zombie Town is open to everyone. Hey. Wait. Hey! What's up, Coach?
Cauliflower wings, milk and crunch, please.
You got it. Seabrook has way more flavors than just vanilla now. I'll take a vanilla, Coach. What?
Where are you?
I mean,
Still waiting.
then we flash sideways over to Addison real quick with her cousin Bucky at cheer camp. Something we learn here is that Bucky wants to run for school president, and this means he won't be the cheer squad captain anymore, even though that was what his entire character was about. So why is he doing this? I don't know.
Bring them down. No charges.
To be school president this year. Now, technically there's an election, but come on. We'll need a new cheer captain while I...
Zip. There.
Last player standing.
What the fuck?
You know, probably my favorite thing about the zombies movies is how they break the fourth wall and just the most
I'll find you.
as if apparently I was just standing here this whole scene. Finally, the movie gets going. So Addison's on her way back from cheer camp, and Zed sets up this Home Alone-style Rube Goldberg machine to
The
ask
enemy
her
only
to the
looks
prom.
composed.
You get it?
Their hearts
It's like
tell
the
a
prom,
different
but it's
story.
shrimp. But one mishap leads to another, and Zed makes the bus crash into the forest. Now, despite having a life-threatening concussion device, Addison runs out to go find Zed.
Who's there? Dad? Who's there? Hello? Dad?
Let's do what we do.
That's right, everybody. We've got werewolves now. It's just been 12 years.
Where are you?
Right there. Also, quick shout out to whoever this is, because you are just giving that 110% right there. Now, long story short, because Addison saw this one girl go,
Someone
this is
see.
clearly proof enough that the forest is full of werewolves and not just a couple of kids out there doing, you know, whatever weird things do. But anyway, so just like that, the entire town of Seabrook starts freaking out.
Mom, Dad, everything is fine.
And I'm way too tasty.
Spike down B.
There.
One enemy remaining.
Effective immediately.
Couldn't just be friends, huh?
Laws are reinstated.
Now, what this means is that zombies can't go
They
to the
couldn't
prom
kill us.
anymore, which is clearly the
Now
bigger issue
they're
here.
So the anti-monster laws are in effect again, which means
Zombies can't go to prom.
but we're gonna fight this day.
So the thing about these anti-monster laws is, I guess they only affect the prom dance thing or whatever. Because I mean, everybody still goes to school together. Zombies out walking around, no problem, nobody cares. So like, anyway, as you can probably imagine, Addison and Zed really want to find a way for them to go to the prom together, and this leads to Zed's master plan to run against Bucky and be school president.
Hello, everyone. My name is Zed, and I am running for president.
I'll find you. Bring them down.
The first ever zombie president. I will allow zombies.
Bring them down.
I will bring Addison as my king black.
Sleep.
Come on, let's go!
Funny story, the night before, I was stuck in the Seabrook High School, so
Take hold.
school has no locks, police or security of any kind whatsoever.
Reload.
Stand down. We werewolves so admire your town, and we just came here to join your school.
Join our school?
One enemy remaining.
Within the school district.
Where are you?
Addison is so weird. Hello, we are werewolves like Meliodas. We've been living in the forest for 500 years and consider all of you our sworn enemies. Can we join your school? Well, I have no follow-up question. Right there. But like, remember back in the first movie how zombies going to the same school as
Go be.
or whatever? And this 15 minutes ago, everyone was freaking out because there might be werewolves involved. The mayor declared martial law, locked all the gates or whatever, and then 2 scenes later, they make them students at their school because they asked. Now, as the movie goes on, we meet the two, Wyatt and Willa, and we start to learn a little more about these kids and what they're all about. So they have these necklace things that give them like their werewolf powers, I guess.
We're nothing like you. We sort of are. Your necklace is powered, right? Kind of like an organic sedan.
That necklace keeps you from fully wolfing out?
The opposite.
I'll find
Our
you.
moonstones make us our
Still
true
waiting.
werewolf.
Get out of my way!
Something else the werewolf kids keep talking about is this thing called the moonstone.
Bring
It's
them
really
down.
important to them and like part of their history or whatever. And maybe it can help us figure out why these kids are wearing clothes made out of wolf skin and hair. Because if you think about it, it's kind of messed up. I mean, that's like if I was walking around with a jacket made out
My ult is ready.
Bear, take them!
Attacked Seabrook settlers, but they struck first and stole our
Spike planted. Last player standing.
I know the alarm's gonna go off if you don't check out those books.
We'll catch them.
Just took a couple books out of the library. It's like, ba-da-ba. Now, no one can read 101 Steve Urkel love tips and tricks except for me.
Sudden death.
Anyway, so Zed is still
Hesitation
trying
is
to
for
get enough votes
amateurs.
to defeat
Let's
Bucky.
go.
Addison's trying to become the new
Need a
cheer
drop.
captain, just in case Bucky still gets it. And if that wasn't enough, now they
Need
got
a
these
drop.
werewolf kids just showing up, dancing their way into the middle of everything.
Yeah, that scruffy, super handsome, fine smelling Wyatt.
You got something you want to share with the rest of the class, Eliza? But anyway, so this Wyatt guy over here seems to have a little something, something for Addison. You know what I'm saying? And Zed's feeling kind of insecure about it because, like, it looks like this. But if I watch Netflix all weekend and forget to take a shower, I just turn into.
Time to work.
I mean, come on, how's that even fair?
Yo, quiet. Zed!
I'll find you. Still waiting.
Werewolves. They're not interested.
Bring them down.
They're into cheer.
No, they're into you. And you're
Bring them down.
What?
Take hold.
That's what? I've never heard.
No, they're into you. And you're into him.
I don't know you guys, but I think maybe you have a crush on him. What? Anyway, so the fight continues.
I'm trying to win an election for my people. For you.
Spike
so we
planted.
Can go to prom, so we can be accepted.
That's not being
Watch your
accepted.
eyes!
Sorry, bro.
Get out of here! Careful now!
My buddy's defusing.
Flash!
Shot my wingman.
Last player standing.
And even though I might be
Attackers win.
you know I don't have a place here.
Find out that Addison's big dilemma is that she doesn't feel like she fits in because of her extra blonde hair. I mean, I don't even know how you get out of bed every morning, Addison. Anyway, so this turns into a huge fight, and Addison sings a song about how no one can truly understand the struggles of being a pretty blonde girl. And later that night, now that Addison's all emotionally vulnerable, guess who shows up to say hello?
Come with us.
What's so important?
You are.
And that's when we learn the shocking truth that no one could have possibly ever seen coming. I mean, trust me, you're gonna want to sit down for this one. So, turns out there's this prophecy about an all-white-haired werewolf outfit
Match found.
that's supposed to lead the werewolves to find the moonstone. And Addison is, allegedly, supposed to be that person. And so, of course, they all do some of that good old singing and dancing, and now, for some reason, Addison looks like one of those girls who comes back from Burning Man for the first time and, like, tries to read your aura or whatever. And then she has to make an important decision.
For centuries, this has been set aside for the great Alpha.
Still in charge. Moonstone is priceless to us, Addison.
If you're truly one of us, when you put it on, you'll be transformed into a werewolf. Part of our pack. Forever.
Can I think about it?
And so, just like that, she takes the necklace and goes home. So the next day, Addison doesn't change her clothes or take a shower, apparently, and her mom and dad now have to go through every parent's worst nightmare when their little girl falls for an emo kid, and the next thing you know, it's all just eyeliner and My Chemical Romance and stacks of notebooks full of just the worst poems you'll ever read. But anyway, later on, Addison meets up with Zed and tells him that she's decided to stay a werewolf, and it's not just a phase, Mom. But Zed secretly steals her necklace out of the box, so for now at least, she has to stay a little old frumpy-dumpy Addison.
I'm ready to become a wolf. If you really are one. It's gone.
You lost it?
Do you know how precious a moonstone necklace is? If she was the great alpha, she wouldn't have been so careless. No, I don't know how. Stay out of our amazing hair.
I mean, just like, why? Anyway, so eventually, thanks to everyone being in the right place at the right time over and over again, the werewolves come to find out that the moonstone is underneath the old power plant.
Yeah, the explosion came from Seabrook Power.
They must be testing charges for the demolition tomorrow. Seabrook Power was fueled by a mysterious energy source. That could be your moonstone, right?
And so the werewolves head on over to stop the demolition and save the moonstone using their cool werewolf powers. Nope, just kidding, we're dancing again. Oh, and now the cheerleaders are here too. And there's the zombies. Okay. But like, no joke here, there's gotta be at least 25 minutes of this movie that got cut somewhere, because first everyone's scared of werewolves, then the werewolves join the school just randomly one day. Addison might be the destined werewolf leader, they find the moonstone, and then Addison and
Guns
Zed are
in my
like, we
face.
should help the
Just
werewolf
another
kid. And the
Tuesday.
whole school has an instant change of heart for whatever reason, and they're all
പക്ഷേ ഇന്ന് Friday, I mean
watching
Saturday
this
ആണ്,
movie is like
bro.
trying to explain a dream you had after you took a little too much melatonin, you know what I mean? Anyway, so thanks to the magic of elbow jabs and foot stomps, the power plant is safe. After this, Zed gives Addison her necklace back, and now she can fulfill her destiny and be the true leader of the werewolves.
You're beautiful, Addie.
What was that? Was so sad?
You're beautiful, Addie.
Well, just spit in my face. But yeah, so it turns out Addison...
Concussing!
Here we go! So then, right after this, whoever gets the...
Boss! We got a problem. What? The remote shorted out, and now the detonation time is running. No!
Multiple enemy B.
Spike planted.
There you go, kids. The moral of the story is, life sucks. Tell you what. And then
Right
the
there.
very end of the movie, all the zombies in the span of like 3.5 minutes. It's
Too late.
the prom, and the werewolves and zombies decide to show up anyway. Anyway, so during the prom, which is
Forever!
power plant that opens up a cave that leads directly to the moonstone.
Right there.
Wow, what are the Everyone comes together to save
Last player
same
standing.
lesson they learned in the first movie already again. So, oh boy, real glad we did this. Yeah, so this movie makes about 0 sense. Like, it's not
Their
even just
jet
a
has
couple
nothing
plot
on
holes
me.
here and there. Just
I
the
got
whole
her.
thing is bafflingly nonsensical. Like, they go through all the trouble of introducing all these new characters, but then we learn nothing about them and have no reason to care about anything they're doing. And I mean, the werewolves could have been pretty cool, but like, all they do is just... But all the same, just like with Descendants, I think the world they built definitely has potential.
Clear to engage.
This is
Weapons
what we
hot.
got. Oh yeah, I totally forgot. So Zed does a rap battle with Bucky, and then Addison's necklace messes with his wristband, and Zed turns into a zombie, and then the whole school's like, oh my goodness, it's a zombie.
Concussing!
And so Bucky wins, and now he's the school president. You know, just in case you're investing.
Spike down B.
Like, interesting or whatever, is how feels like she doesn't belong with anyone or anything.
Night night.
Found one. One enemy remaining.
Okay, come on in. Everyone
Spike
else is
down
like,
B.
Addison said it's okay, so I guess it's alright. And then later on, the werewolves start the demolition or whatever. And then Addison's like, we need to get the whole school involved. And then the whole school's like,
Their crew got
Addison
sloppy.
sings a song
Punish
and
them.
has this whole thing about how she feels like she doesn't belong anywhere. But everyone just does whatever she says. So I don't know what's going on with you, Addison. It seems like it's all in your head. But you know, something about this movie that reminded me of Descendants, besides a lot of things, but Zombies 2 feels like it's aimed at such a younger audience than the first one was. And like Descendants 2 was the same way, where Descendants 2 came out and they had a talking dog and just like suddenly everyone was acting way more immature than they usually did. And with Zombies 2 is the same.
Forever!
You know, everyone's 2 years old. I mean, the actual characters in the movie time is supposed to have passed. But Zombies 1 came out 2 years ago. And so now everyone who likes
Out
the
of
first
charges.
movie is older.
Blinding!
Are somewhat older than they were.
Oh yeah!
Flash out!
Monster on the loose!
And yet everyone acts like 4 or 5 years younger than they were in the first movie. I mean, of course, no one expects a Disney Channel movie to be like the movie that really made Snowman. You know, like I'm not expecting that. Going back and doing some of the older Disney Channel movies from like mid 2000s to like 2011 or 12 or so, they used to have movies that were perfectly watchable and that were definitely aimed at teenagers. And then for some reason, just the last few years or so, everything just was suddenly aimed at like way younger than what it's supposed to be. You know, it's like all the characters are supposed to be 16, 17 years old, and they all act like they're 10, you know? But whatever. Anyway, thank you so much for watching. Don't forget to subscribe. Don't forget to ring that bell so that you don't miss any videos from me. Follow my dog Charlie on Instagram. Follow me on Twitter. And above all else, everybody have a great day, and I'll see you all next time.
30 seconds left.
Here we are. Once again, we've arrived at the end of a big film trilogy. I mean, I've gone through the To All the Boys movies, Kissing Booth movies, Descendants movies, and now we're finally here at the end of all things.
One
Zombies
enemy
2.
remaining.
Now, Zombies 2 was supposed to
Spike
come out
planted.
over a year ago, but was delayed for a variety of reasons, I'm sure. But all the same, it's here now. So what do you say we put on a pair of our best Velcro shoes and check out the final movie in the smash hit Zombies franchise? I mean, there's no way this movie could be bad, right?
Welcome back to Zebra.
Last round before the switch.
We started off as a perfectly planned. My ult is ready. Full here.
Then zombies showed up.
Everything
I
was
need a
fun,
drop.
and then just out of nowhere, zombies showed up and started dancing. It was the weirdest thing. So after giving us a very brief recap of the first 2 movies, right away we get to the main idea of like what the whole movie is going to be about. But before that, really quick, this video is sponsored by Audible. If you don't know what Audible is by now, Audible is an online service that lets you download audiobooks, audio newspapers, and just like all kinds of spoken word. If you sign up now, you can start listening to a 30-day Audible trial, which gets you one title in the
Flash out!
forever. Now on top of the premium of all you can listen audiobooks, original entertainment, and podcasts included in
You
the
will
Audible
not
Plus
kill
catalog.
my allies.
So it lets you download as much as you want for
Bring them down.
Mark 2.
Audiobooks are some kind of like audio entertainment thing that you can't find anywhere else.
One enemy remaining.
Books like The Adventures of for example. I'd recommend you sign up and
Spike's
listen
here.
to Hold Your Breath by Wendy Walker. It's like a whodunit mystery story about a psychiatrist interviewing the main character and everyone around her, and slowly starts to piece together this like murder mystery story. Sign up with my link, audible.com/Alex Myers, or text my name Alex Myers to 500-500. Start your Audible Plus membership and start streaming thousands of audiobooks today. Okay, back to the show.
But now we've all learned to live together.
Seabrook is becoming a perfect place.
Well, almost. Monsters still have one big barrier to break through. Like getting into college.
There you are, you shit. If we win this championship football game tonight, we're going to have our first zombie recruited to college.
And the doors to higher ed will be
Switching
open to
sides.
all monsters.
And then they too can get roped into an unpayable student
Great.
loan scheme and use
You
their
do not
master's
steer
degree in
the
economics
chaos
to make
conflict.
$18 an hour. So
I'm
exciting!
impressed.
So win tonight's football game and everything in Zebra will be perfect.
So we can't let anything get in our way.
Hey, so I think something might end up getting in their way. But yeah, so if Zed wins the football game that night, then all the socioeconomic issues in the entire town of Seabrook will instantly be solved and no one will have any problems of any kind ever again. So as per usual, we are reintroduced to our main character, Zed the Zombie. And of course, we have everyone's favorite girl with the longest fake eyelashes I've ever seen, Addison.
Hi, I'm Addison. And as to your captain, it's my duty to support Seabrook. But this is personal. I'm going to Mountain College, and I really need Zed to win tonight's game. So let's cheer our team to victory!
So
I have this
forever! And as one final hurrah, Addison wants to do a national
Blinding!
competition thing. And so between
Enemy spotted B.
a whole lot of singing and dancing in this movie.
I know, I wish we could be cheerleaders forever too. Like,
find you.
So high school never ends.
Mark
Man,
two.
we just have too much chemistry.
Bring them down. There. There.
Yeah, okay, whatever you say. Like, when you're in high school, you know, it's like, oh, this person is so gorgeous. 10 out of 10. The most perfect person for me.
Right
Then you go
there.
up to college, it's like,
Dead.
One enemy remaining.
but don't say, everything's going wonderful and nothing could possibly show up and ruin everyone's plans.
Concussion!
Our moonstones are acting weird, Wyatt. Something big is happening.
Oh yeah, sorry about that. I had a little too much extra fiber.
Last
this
player
morning.
standing.
No, actually, you'll never believe this, but aliens, of
Still
all
waiting.
things, just randomly come down right before the
Where
football
are
game's supposed
you?
to start.
I'm a recruiter from college. We need. I quit! I'll never leave home again! Wait, don't recruit me to Mountain College!
I think you got bigger things to worry about there, my dude. So watching
Clutch.
this giant alien spaceship come down gets everyone so upset and riled up that they sing a song, as you do, about how they're not sure if the aliens are friendly or not.
Bragging
You
rights
know,
if
whether
you
it's
get
like
first
cars
pick.
blowing up and half the town's on fire. And then the aliens themselves come down and, oh my. What? These dudes are literally looking like a xenon girl of the 21st century right now. What even? What is this?
Source a scout ship.
Precisely what I was thinking. Yeah, we know, Ellie, because we can read each other's minds.
This is Scout Commander 15-09. I found Utopia, the perfect new planet for us. I hit the coordinates in the most
Flash out! Too late. Blinding!
This is the greatest run I've ever seen. This is like me when I've been sitting in the bathroom for way too long and then I fall asleep. Right? The person rings the doorbell and I'm like,
My
I
oath's
gotta get my
ready.
cheese curds. Anyway, so as you might imagine, the people of Seabrook are a little taken aback by this whole alien invasion thing because they're just so close-minded, don't you know?
It appears these angry beings may not give us their most precious thing willingly. And we'll have to explain our presence without telling them our mission.
Didn't you just say you don't have to talk to each other because you can hear each other's thoughts? Are we just gonna ignore all that?
No.
I'm thinking what you're thinking. Take us to your leader! Cheer, leader. We accept your invitation to the National Cheer.
Oh, it's gonna be one of these movies. The aliens are gonna come.
Still waiting.
Cheerleading competition.
Plant the spike. Reloading.
My goodness.
Gun
But just
here.
to be safe,
30 seconds left. One enemy
Spike
remaining.
and figure out what's going
Spike down A.
Principal Lee.
He's probably here to clone me to create an unstoppable cheer force. I mean, who wouldn't want more of me?
I mean, truth be told, I don't even want one of them. So I'm not sure what to tell you.
Shutting
now.
them down.
After talking to the aliens for a bit, we come to find out that even though the football game was canceled and therefore Zed could no longer be
Match
recruited
point.
in college, there still
I'll
might
do
be a
my
way for
job,
him to get
you do
accepted and
yours.
open up the world to monsters everywhere.
What are they doing?
Mountain College is a separate application for an exceptional student scholarship, and it does not specifically prohibit
Zetsky. Sakura. Yeah, Sakura. That sounds exactly like me.
Perhaps exceptional means something else in this galaxy.
Kill
Believe
all
me?
your opponents.
I'm impressed. You guys okay?
I mean, hey, watch me lick my own elbow. Also, like, I don't think that's really your priority right now. Like,
Flash out!
these aliens have come down to Earth and then Zed's like, yeah, we're
Concussion!
Enemy spotted B.
Blinding! One suppressed.
3 o'clock in the morning every day. But honestly,
Oh yeah! Monster on the loose!
Reloading. Bring them down. Blocking sight.
Spike down B.
What is cheer?
Sounds like a bunch of baloney, if you ask me.
Spike retrieved.
One enemy remaining.
Right there.
The whole time they share their advanced technology with everyone, so they can all just. Oh, wait, never mind.
Attackers win.
They're going to high
I think ഒരു ഡെത്ത് മാച്ച് കൂടെ കളിച്ച എന്റെ ഡെയിലീസ് തീരും
Are
തോന്നുന്നു.
they even teenagers? Why are they doing this? They have until the cheer competition to find this precious thing, you know, whatever that means, to find a map to their new home planet. And they spend all their limited time to save their entire race going to high school.
Disney Channel movies, they don't always make sense.
Now, at first, Zed is all for the aliens coming in, but he has to achieve, like, valedictorian status or whatever so that he can hopefully win that exceptional student scholarship thing. But of course, wouldn't you know, the aliens are all like super geniuses, and Zed's class rank ends up dropping pretty quick.
The aliens stole my class.
Match found.
And beat my athletic records. What? Hey!
Alan just obliterated your best eye.
You know, I guess I never really noticed this before, but like, Zed's last name is Necrodopoulos. Not only is he a zombie, but he's Greek too. Man, this kid cannot catch a break. But anyway, so Zed is none too thrilled about what Alan the alien's getting up to these days, but seems like the aliens might need his help for something very important.
I am so sorry. I'm sorry, I really am. You know, as tough as things have been for zombies, we've always had Zombie Town. Is there anything I can do?
You would help us?
With our Luma lenses, we probed all the minds of Seabrook.
Mind probes? Why would you do that?
Well, nobody was really open to the other kind of probe we had, except Addison, who was really enthusiastic about it for some reason.
So there is something you can do for us. This image appears in many scans. What is it?
That is the Moonstone. It is the most precious thing in Seabrook.
And so the aliens sneak over and check out the werewolf moonstone to scan it and see if it's what they're looking for, but turns out, no, it's not, and this was all just a big old waste of time. Now, in the middle of all this alien, whose name is Aspen, just kinda randomly out of nowhere starts to develop a crush on Zed and decides it's a great idea to tell Addison about it.
Oh, great leader of cheer, I need your help. Yeah, of course. I have a feeling I cannot define. My palms are sweaty and it feels like space moths are in my stomach.
Oh yeah, same thing happened to me after I ate a whole bag of sugarless gummy bears, so trust me, you're in for a heck of a weekend.
I think you have a crush, Aspen. It's when you like someone. You know, love.
Who's the lucky person?
Zed. I love Zed.
Anyway, so after the aliens find out that the moonstone is not what they're looking for, the werewolves find out about what they were doing with it, and wouldn't you know, they don't really appreciate the aliens messing with the thing that, you know, gives them life and stuff.
Someone's taken down our force field. And someone's been eating our froyo. And it's all melted. The hunt is on!
I'm sorry. It's like when 6-year-olds pretend to be like lions and horses, or like when I pretend to be a functioning member of society. Either way, it's really hard to watch. Now, to help them escape the werewolf hunt, and by hunt, of course, I mean they're just dancing around the whole time, the mothership beams up all the aliens, which for some strange, inexplicable reason, oh my god, it also beams up Addison.
Reflexes.
What are you doing here?
I got beamed up. What are you doing here?
Aspen asked if I could help with my knowledge of Seabrook.
Oh, they're trying to spend alone time with you.
Alone time? Why? Oh, okay, well, I do have universal appeal.
No, do not wink at me, sir. You take that back right now. So since Addison just happened to randomly be beamed aboard the spaceship, the aliens just decide to tell her everything about everything that's going on with them, and how they're looking for a secret map to a new planet that's hidden in the most precious thing in Seabrook. Now, I'm telling you right this second, okay? If this precious thing turns out to be like friendship or something, I'm gonna lose it. Anyway, so we find out that the aliens have not heard the entire message from the scout yet because of some kind of glitch or whatever. But hey, leave it to Zed to do whatever he does.
Years ago, our scout crashed in Seabrook and hid a map to Utopia. We came here to find it.
Wait, I thought you said you were here for cheer.
Commander. Do not touch. We're repairing the files of our scouts' logs.
With no success. I mean, have you guys tried banging?
Banging? You can't just bang. Oh, that seems to have worked.
Oh, that's what you mean. So now that it's all fixed, they can finally listen to the entire message. And I'm sure it's all just one big coincidence that Addison happens to be here at this exact moment.
For centuries, I've been without a home, but I...
Revealing area. There they are.
I hit the coordinates.
Not ready yet.
Precious thing. My scout ship crashed on the sea, but with no ship to take me home, I was forced to hide my true identity.
Addison, my dude, your biggest blonde hair and the eyebrows that don't match. Okay, sit this one.
Discovered my passion.
Take flight.
Going up.
Reloading.
Charge your hopes.
Contact with our people. My air grew white, and I lost
Shot done.
power. And we named our firstborn Amateur.
That's my mom's name.
That's right, everybody. What you believe,
Scanning
turns
ahead.
out Addison is half alien, or I guess quarter alien, technically, which we all should have really seen coming.
Found
I mean,
them.
her name does start with an A, like all the other ones. And apparently her mom's real name is Upless. Over and over in the last two movies. Once again, Addison completely changed everything about whatever new friend group she discovered.
I'm ready to
But hey, it's different this time, alright? Because she definitely belongs to these kids for real.
Reloading.
And then, wouldn't you know, she sings a song about how she finally found where she belongs, and now suddenly... Standing out, no matter what anyone else says, etc., etc. None of these movies are the exact opposite.
White hair won't stand up.
Scanning ahead.
She'll even find a place where she belongs.
ജസ്റ്റ് ഔട്ട്ലൈൻ വരച്ച് വെച്ച്
Anyway, so then
The
it's
server
time to
assisted
cheer off
me.
competition. One thing leads to another, and the werewolves end up finding out that the aliens are actually here to do something other
Shock
than
duck.
cheerleading. And so now the werewolves are all riled up and ready to use their cool wolf powers to do more.
We should have never let Addison welcome in those outsiders.
Deploying drone.
New stage in
Headshot. Reloading.
She walks away.
She can have it.
Okay, hold on just a second.
Shot down.
Wouldn't you love a Zed like 5 minutes ago? Here, get this pretty sun full of C4 and calm down. So somehow Addison the trophy cup thing, despite doing like the lamest cheer routine I've ever seen.
Shut up, you're not my real
Revealing area.
From the outside to get beamed up.
There they are.
Just to get the trophy. Like they don't
Doki doki me kiki covering watashi wa natteru.
Get out of my way!
Kira, kira.
But that's when Addison suddenly unlocks all of her new powers. Her final form on her never-ending quest to base her entire personality
Revealing
on
area.
Doki doki me kiki covering watashi wa natteru. Watashi wa shitai.
Oh, honey, trust me. Half the things I did in high school and college before I met your father, I am so glad we did not have social media back then.
Wait. She said I was her what? Time to hunt the coordinates of my class. Because the map is no light. It's a who.
Three gone.
You know, her own daughter.
Ah!
My precious perfect angel, the love of my life. But not you though, honey. I mean, come on. You were conceived in the back of a Honda.
Scanning ahead.
She's an alien. She can throw the entire life up to now and decided to leave with the aliens. What else is she supposed to do? The way she wants? Standing around and just randomly have this bizarrely conversation about the meaning of life or whatever.
Conflict isn't having their vision. Being challenged sometimes. All because we didn't want to create disharmony. Unity isn't sameness. Love is powerful. I know where to put it out. The most boundless and perfect place.
Shock down.
To find the perfect utopia planet.
Reload. Scanning ahead.
Just take a little peek.
There they are.
Yeah, so the aliens turn right around and come right back. We just sang all these songs about the undying love and friendship or whatever. Well, gee, thanks for nothing, Addison. It's like when your friend breaks up with the person they're dating. They spend all weekend telling them how, like, you never like
Gone. My ult is ready.
Reloading.
begins.
So just like that, what do you know? Everyone can go to college. Even Red.
Who's next?
Shut that. Much into 90 minutes minus. Screen, the girls just have to like tell
Revealing area.
Also, Addison's
There
character
they
arc
are.
is just the funniest thing to me. Like, the first lower class of people fighting for their rights and live in the same world. And it's like, wow, this is literally just like my life. And then the second movie, where we show up, Addison's like, OMG, this is actually totally about me right now. The third movie, aliens are blocking the whole planet, they're searching for a new one, and right off the gate, first thing
In the Pokemon episode, and I'm like, I don't know why, weirdly, it might be because it's Pokemon or something. Like, now, Vayangara energized. Like, I'm feeling a bit down for the past few days. But yeah, it's like complete, full on.
Down. But in this one, it's like they establish a whole bunch of stuff, and then they just decide that none of it actually matters anyway. It's a very pretty movie, though. Like, it looks interesting. So there's that.
Revealing
My ultimate ready. I actually did an interview with Pierce Joza, who plays Wyatt, like one of the main roles in the Zombies franchise, and so I did a little interview podcast. The link to it is down below if you're interested. As you say, it is all. Like, this is garbage, and if you are in this movie, you should be embarrassed. You know, like, but it's just, I mean, especially with Disney Channel movies, like, you of all people being in 2 of them now, I guess, at least, right? Maybe more, I don't know. But, like, you know, they're very silly, right? I mean,
of course, they're decoms, man. You know, I think, honestly, I think I'm in a unique, kind of a lucky position. I started with Disney on the show called Lab Rats, which was...
You were in Lab Rats? Oh my goodness.
Dude, I played the 4th brother at the end of the season. Yeah, at the end of the 4th season, I was like the surprise, like they have a 4th brother, they have another brother, and I got that part. Gosh, I can't remember. I remember I got booked for that part, but nobody told me. Like, my agents and managers like forgot to tell me that like I got the part, and so I got a call 2 hours after I was supposed to be on set for that, and they were like, "Where are you?"
Back on topic. Zombies 3. Okay, important question. Who is your least favorite cast member? No, I'm just kidding.
Meg Donnelly. I'm kidding. I knew it because we're really good friends. You know, I actually, you know, you're not going to believe me when I say this, but Zombies is actually it is terrible to have a cast that all a cast of 16 characters.
Oh, so by the way, Njan off stream, Njan കുറച്ച് Apex കളിച്ചു, and now I do have the Prestige Tier 3 caustic skin.
I have had some of my best experiences, best memories with
yeah,
these
I can do
I've just been so
finishers quickly.
You know, and you know, I've forged really special relationships, and it's honestly, it's actually been, I think, part of my success comes from, you know, my friends and the people that I work with who push me to be better and push me to be do the best that I possibly can and you know, succeed.
I figured you were going to say Baby Ariel, but you know, that makes sense. Ever since I started talking about Disney Channel original movies, Teen Beach Movie has been the most requested one by far. Now, something I didn't even know until I started doing these videos is that Teen Beach Movie was one of the most watched Disney Channel original movies of all time. Like, apparently it was a really big deal when it came out. And so, after putting it off for so long, I figured it was about time. Let's take a walk. So right from the beginning, first thing we meet our 2 main characters, Brady and Mac, 2 high school kids who love surfing.
The Moist Meter is proudly presented by us, me, and our comic book series Godslap and Plague Seeker.
Oh, pudhiya solving video on the Jaden. Let's go.
Getting into the Moist Meter. Today we're taking a look at Blue Beetle. I'll go ahead and be upfront and honest right away because lying is a sin and sin is gross. I don't want to be gross. I don't have high expectations when I go into a superhero film anymore. I feel like I always know what's coming, I know what to expect. It's the same dish I'm getting served every time for the most part. It feels like most superhero films are algorithmically driven,
made following the exact same formula, just copying each other's homework. So going into Blue Beetle, I thought I knew exactly what I was going to get. And it turns out I was right. I got pretty much exactly what I was expecting for the most part. That doesn't mean it's bad. I don't think Blue Beetle is bad by any means at all, but this is a movie that you'll watch and you'll recognize, damn, this is just like every other superhero film that's come out recently, because it just borrows all of the same shit, even down to like identical scenes from other superhero films. But, like I said, I don't think it's horrible by any means. I don't think it's a bad movie. Let's just go ahead and dive into it. I think the best part of the film is actually the family element to it. So, Blue Beetle, the main character, Jaime, he and his family are a very core component to the story. And when they're on screen together, I actually think the movie's at its best. They are fun. There's great chemistry with every member of the family, and they're all really enjoyable on screen. George Lopez actually does a really good job delivering the comedic bits, and make no mistake, this movie is not light on comedic bits at all. Even during the most intense situations, like murder, they're still cracking jokes about it. So this is a film that very much does not take itself seriously, but there is one scene in particular where they did try and be very emotional, and they fucking nailed it. Like, there's a very emotional scene, but every character around that scene, everyone in that moment, crushed it. And it actually made me mad, because if they had focused on maybe doing something a little different with a superhero movie, making it actually emotional and maybe a little more hard-hitting as opposed to just falling back on the same tired, quirky, quippy, non-stop, light-hearted, joking characters that every superhero movie follows now, I think it would have been much better. Like, instead of just having so many scenes where a character's like, bro, I just took a luxury dump in that toilet, fist bump, like, instead of having every character have all of those moments and have every scene be filled with jokes, if they had instead just really doubled down on being a little more hardcore and having scenes like that one I mentioned, I think this could have been a really great film, or at least a much better one. Especially because they do have elements that would really lend itself well to it. The main villain that Blue Beetle keeps squaring off with is basically just Robot Man when he's fighting. But when he's not fighting, he's a pretty interesting character who has a tragic backstory that I think they really could have expanded upon and fleshed him out and made like a really interesting piece with Blue Beetle and his family and that guy, and I don't want to get into spoilers, but as opposed to just unrelenting AI-generated jokes that they just constantly throw in your face. Anyway, exactly what you've seen in other superhero.
നമ്മുടെ ഹൊറൈസൺ എവിടെ? Oh my lord, FK, what you say?
Unexpected person to have it. The main character who just happened to be in the right place at the right time. And the Scarab, which is a world-destroying weapon, chooses him. And evil corporations obviously not too thrilled about it. They want it back, so they start threatening his family, trying to track him down and send out their big bad robot killer guy. And there's a main villain behind the robot killer, and I already forgot her name. I'm not going to lie to you. I know her last name's Cord because that's the name of the company. I think her name was like Vivian Cord or Vicky or some shit. I don't know. But that just goes to show you how forgettable of a character she is, which is a shame because I think the actress is very talented, but she was given actual urinal cakes to work with on this one. Her material is bad. The way that this villain is written is like the way a Saturday cartoon would write a quick villain for a single episode. She just says the standard tropey evil shit like sacrifices must be made, and we have to make weapons because weapons make us money, and we like money. And also she's like racist. So the character, she doesn't really have any interesting features about herself. She is actually a caricature of an evil person. And she's not really the one they keep squaring off against. She's having to show up and order people around like, can you please kill him because I need money? And he has this super secret world-destroying weapon that I'm going to use for money and machines, or weapons. So please, can we kill him now? So I thought she was super lame. Definitely the robot-killing assassin guy was the star on the evil side. And now I would like to give a bit of praise here to the visuals, because I actually think this is one of these better looking movies. DC's become synonymous with they have really fumbled when it comes to its visuals over the last 10 or so years. They've had some like garbage CGI in a lot of their movies. This one, though, I think is pretty good looking. Aside from a couple of scenes that got a little aside from that, I thought all the visuals were pretty good looking, and I enjoyed the action scenes here. However, there was not many of them. I really would have liked if they explored
എനിക്ക് അസിസ്റ്റ് കിട്ടിയില്ലെങ്കിലും നല്ല ഡാമേജ് ചെയ്താ
basically just makes air blasters. He makes force blasters. Handheld force blast. And then when they are about to weapon or sword, he's like, no, wait a minute, pump the brakes. That's gonna hurt somebody. That could kill someone. No sword, just give me more air blasters. And it's like, ugh.
No,
like, Jesus Christ. But I'm happy to say this isn't a spoiler, so it's in the trailer. He does make a giant sword, which ends up being very cool. I just would have liked if they explored that power a bit more with the more creativity behind it, as opposed to just making blasters forever. But yeah, the visuals I thought were definitely an improvement over a previous DC movie. Now, I mentioned the family is actually the best part, but there's something I need to mention about the family. It leads to a big tonal inconsistency between Blue Beetle and the family. And let me explain what I mean. And I don't think it's intentional. So they're very tight, they're very close. Blue Beetle even has like a very tropey anime moment where the bad guy says, your love for your family makes you weak. And he says, no, my love for my family, that's what makes me strong. And it's supposed to be very much they are hated. But the family couldn't be more different from Blue Beetle in how they handle the overall narrative. So Blue Beetle is like fucking Batman, I guess, who is completely opposed to killing. I don't know enough about Blue Beetle as a character in the comics to really opine on that, but there is a scene very early on where it's about to kill some of the bad guys that are threatening. He makes them say, no, no killing. I'm not a killer. So then he instead just gives like an air blaster. And his family, however, does not share that same belief. His family kills so many people. George Lopez in particular piles up corpses. He impales a man, literally impales a guy, and he makes a joke about it. His grandmother has a Gatling gun, and she just chops up, peppers 8 different dudes, murdering them in cold blood. And then she makes a joke about it, all while Blue Beetle watches. And even he's like cheering her on, like, wow, you really fucked them up, that's great. And he's smiling and, happy about it. But meanwhile, the entire movie has already solidified him as someone who is totally against killing, but he's absolutely fine watching his family killed. I don't know, that just seemed like a bit of an oversight. Like, at that point, why not just have Blue Beetle okay with killing in the first place? Overall, though, like I said, it's not a bad movie by any means, but it's a movie that follows the same superhero formula you're used to seeing at this point. So, if you like this standard superhero movie, you'll most likely really enjoy Blue Beetle. And like I said, this is one of DC's better looking movies visually. So, plugging Blue Beetle into the Moist Meter, I'm just going to give it a nice 50%.
Where I grew up, everything
I didn't
wanted to kill
dislike
me.
it, but I am just very exhausted from superhero films that aren't bothering to even try to do things differently and make things a little more unique. But I do think Blue Beetle had the opportunity to and had the talent to as well. Everyone did a really great job, like in their performance. I think the acting in this movie is very good, and they showed that they can deliver really great emotional beats. So it's just a real shame to see that none of that was really utilized outside of one scene. But anyway, that's about it for the Moist Meter. But I do want to mention that we are still selling tickets to the Moist Esports live watch party on September 8th, 9th, and 10th. Tickets are available at the strazcenter.com website. I'll put a link to it in the description below. Basically, it's a big party, a Moist Fest, where we're going to watch our esports team compete in the World Championship for Apex Legends and hopefully take home the trophy, as well as just make it a nice, fun atmosphere, meet and greet, all that kind of stuff. So if you're interested in attending, it's an in-person.
You know the way to a girl's heart is through poetry, so Peter starts to study poetry. Why? To win over Mary Jane. But you said she's clearly into him and he turned her down. Oh, whoops. Whoopsie. Anyway, so this Otto Octavius guy is actually pretty important. Oh, and what's his deal? Well, he's creating this mini sun reactor thing that just provides sustainable energy for the whole planet. So he has a whole crowd gathered at his place to watch him turn it on for the first time. Seems like the kind of thing you do behind closed doors for the first time. Yeah, for sure, but instead he's gonna do it in a Manhattan sky skyscraper with a bunch of unguarded people watching. Interesting choice. And so as part of the project, he's made these crazy robot arms that he controls with his brain. And they have a little glass inhibitor chip so they don't take over his mind. Wow, well that's a world-changing invention right there. People watching must be freaking out. They literally have no reaction to it. Huh? Anyway, so the machine doesn't work and Otto's wife dies and the inhibitor chip gets destroyed. So the robot arms take control of his mind. Hey dude, this is gonna be some awesome Terminator stuff. What does the evil AI want to do? It wants to rebuild a machine and create sustainable energy for all mankind. Oh, that's actually pretty noble, but like in an evil way. Oh, okay. So then Doc Ock realizes he needs money to buy the parts to rebuild the machine, so he decides to steal some. If he's okay with stealing, why doesn't he just go steal the stuff? Why go through the extra step of stealing money and making transactions? I don't know. Fair enough. So then later, Peter and Aunt May are at the bank, right? And out of all the banks in New York City, Doc Ock happens to rob that very same one at that very same time. Wow, what are the odds of that? Astronomical. Oh, astronomy is tight. I know, that's why I put it in there. Amazing. So then Spider-Man and Doc Ock are gonna have this big fight and exchange punches and kicks back and forth. So I guess Doc Ock's metal arms block all the punches? No, Spider-Man lands a whole bunch of punches and kicks. But Spider-Man has super strength and Doc Ock is just a guy with robot arms. Wouldn't a single punch knock him out or incapacitate him? You'd think so, but apparently the guy can take a hit. Impressive. So then Aunt May saves the day by hitting him with an umbrella. Oh, she does? Yeah, gets him real good. Wow. So later Doc Ock needs some tritium to build the machine, so he goes to see Harry Osborn, who's the one who gave him some earlier. Oh, so Harry gives it to him? No, he says, I'll tell you what, I'll give you some if you bring me Spider-Man alive. Why would he agree to a deal, though? He came to threaten Harry. This isn't a negotiation. Well, he's gonna agree, because Spider-Man has to be involved in the movie somehow. Oh yeah, Spider-Man does have to be involved. So then Harry tells Doc Ock Peter Parker can tell you where Spider-Man is. How come? Because he takes Spider-Man's picture sometimes, and that means they're super close. That is how photography works. So then Doc Ock tracks down Peter at a coffee shop with MJ. How does he find him? Unclear. Fair enough, and what does he do? Well, how did I get your attention when I walked in here? You threw a printer at the back of my head. Exactly. Throwing a heavy object at someone's head is the best way to let them know you want to talk. So what does Doc Ock throw? Well, he has super strong robot arms, so he throws a car. Whoa. Yeah, if Peter didn't have his Spidey sense, he'd be dead for sure. Doc Ock got super lucky that Peter Parker's secretly a superhero. Definitely. So then Peter stops a train with the power of constipation, and Doc Ock kidnaps MJ and brings Spider-Man to Harry. Oh, so what happens next? Well, Harry takes off Spider-Man's mask and he's like, Peter, you killed my dad in the first movie. So Peter's like, I didn't kill your dad, he tried to kill me and accidentally killed himself. No, he's like, Harry, there are bigger things happening here than me and you. Feels like that other sentence could have cleared everything up though. Well, there's no time to say that one sentence, so he says the other one sentence instead. I guess that makes sense. So then Peter's like, Harry, you need to tell me where Doc Ock brought MJ. Does Harry even know that? No, he'd have no way of knowing, but somehow he tells him anyway. Wow. And then after a little fight, the mini-sun gets too powerful and they have to find a way to destroy it. Oh, is that gonna be hard to do? No, it's gonna be super easy, barely an inconvenience. Oh, really? Yeah, Dr. Octavius is like, I'm gonna dump it in the river, and then that immediately works. And what happens with Harry? Well, he's gonna go crazy and find his dad's old goblin stuff. Oh, what does he do with it? Well, we'll find out in the... Whoa, hold on, we need to see if this one does well first. Maybe this is better than the first one with the fluke. Oh, well, okay. Yeah, but if it does do well, we're gonna trans Spider-Man down people's throats for years. Oh, fingers crossed. So, you have a Spider-Man sequel script for me? Yes, sir, I do. So for this one, I really wanted to go all in on what people really loved about the first two movies. Oh yeah, a bunch of cool Spider-Man. No, a bunch of relationship problems between Peter and MJ. Is that what people liked about the first two movies? Well, I certainly hope so, because we're gonna have a ton of crying and whining from both of them. Wow, fingers crossed. I also noticed that there weren't a lot of music or dance numbers in the first two movies, so I went ahead and jammed like 4 or 5 of them into this one to compensate. I guess it'll be fun to have some good musical numbers in there. Oh no, they're gonna be really bad. Oh, they are? Yeah, one of the story threads is actually about how bad the first musical performance was. Like, MJ's gonna get fired from her Broadway play. She's so bad. So we're jamming a bunch of bad music and dance numbers in there. Exactly. Interesting strategy. I'm sure people won't see it coming. Probably not. So one of the things that people definitely liked in the first two movies were the villains. So tell me about the villain in this one. What's his deal? Which one? Oh, you have 2 villains? I have 3 villains. Oh, laying it on real thick. Okay, tell me about the 3 villains. Well, we're gonna have this guy, Flint Marko, turn into the Sandman. Okay, and what's his deal? Well, he has a sick daughter, so anytime he does something bad, it's not his fault. That's true. If you have a sick family member, you're not exactly. Like last week, I heard my niece talk, so I went outside and stole a car. Oh, that's what I explained to the screaming people inside the car. So how does he turn into the Sandman? Well, he escaped from prison, so as he's running from the cops, he falls inside a big science hole. Those things are all over the place. I know, and at this one, a bunch of scientists are doing tests on some sand at 2 a.m. and not following up on the results. Wow. So yeah, he completely turns to sand, but this little locket that his daughter gave him doesn't, so he has something to look at all the Yeah, apparently she realized that having a locket with a picture of herself was a little weird, so she gave it to her dad. That is a weird thing to carry around. Anyway, so to push things further with Sandman, later Peter and Aunt May are gonna get called to the police station. What for? Well, the police are gonna be like, guess what? It was actually the Sandman who killed Uncle Ben, but we didn't tell you because we didn't want to upset you. So why are they telling him now? Because they want to upset them now, I guess. Oh, suddenly deciding to upset people is tight. Yeah, and this way we can rewrite Uncle Ben's death to kind of shoehorn the Sandman in there. Why would we do that, though? It doesn't add anything. So Peter can have a deep personal connection with the villain. Is that really necessary for every single villain? Yes, always, forever. Well, okay then. We're also gonna have the Venom symbiote in this movie. Oh, people love Venom. They sure do, sir. And he's gonna be in the movie for about 5 minutes. That's more than enough Venom, right? Oh yeah, I mean, he's the root for all the musical numbers. Very true. So what's the backstory of the Venom symbiote? It's gonna fall from space on a meteorite and land right next to Peter in Central Park. So what does Peter do? Well, he doesn't notice because he's in a webcam and kissing MJ. What about his spider sense? Oh yeah, I forgot that was a thing, so it's not gonna be a thing in this movie? Fair enough. Yeah, he's just gonna get blindsided left and right. He's not gonna see anything coming. That's okay. As long as we don't really bring up Spidey sense, I don't think people are gonna notice. Oh, well, Venom does have a line later where he's groping MJ, but like, my Spidey sense is tingling, if you know what I mean. Oh, you can't cut that. That's a fantastic line. My thoughts exactly. So anyway, the symbiote is gonna turn Peter black and make him kind of a jerk, but really cool. Oh, so he's like into jazz? I said he's cool. Of course he's into jazz. Just making sure. He also does a lot of finger guns and pelvic thrusts and dances in public to no music. Oh, none of that is gonna be physically painful to watch. Not in the least. He even says cool stuff like, now dig on this. Very cool. So anyway, eventually Peter's gonna get rid of the symbiote and it's gonna latch on to Eddie Brock. Oh, tell me about Eddie Brock. Well, he and Peter are fighting for the same photography job, right? Okay. And Peter discovers that Eddie faked a picture of Spider-Man. Unbelievable. So Eddie's like, come on, man, give me a break. Don't tell anyone. And Peter's like, you want forgiveness? Get religion. Oh, but he didn't ask for forgiveness. He asked for a break. Right, but there's going to be a scene in a church later, so it's like foreshadowing. Doesn't really make sense for him to say that, though. It's a nod to something later. Yeah, but I mean, I'm a good writer. Oh, well, okay then. So what happens at the church? Well, Eddie goes there to be like, hey, God, could you please kill Peter Parker? That is how church works. And as it turns out, at the very same time, in the very same church, Peter's in the bell tower tearing off his symbiote suit. Wow, what a wacky coincidence. Yeah, so Eddie Brock's gonna be like Parker, and then some symbiote's gonna fall on him, and he's gonna turn into Venom, and he's gonna turn into Venom. And all he wants to do now is kill Peter Parker himself, so he climbs up to the top of the bell tower. Oh, well, no, I just have to do a scary thing where he turns the camera. But I think Peter's lying there naked at the top of the bell tower. I guess he must have woken up and swung home naked. I don't know. Fair enough. And then the other villain is Harry Osborn, and he's like the new Green Goblin. And why is he a villain? Well, he thinks that Peter killed his dad, so he wants to kill Peter. Oh, true. But towards the end of the movie, his butler's gonna be like, yo, your dad killed himself. I cleaned his wounds. I should know. Why did he wait so long to tell him? I don't know. That works for me. So then it's gonna be this big final fight of Harry and Peter versus Sandman and Venom. What are they fighting over? What do you think? Mary Jane got kidnapped? Mary Jane got kidnapped. I love that we always do that. It's just as exciting each time. Man, so it must have been tough to juggle all these villains in the same script. Actually, it was super easy. Barely an inconvenience. Oh, really? Yeah, throughout the script, I just had things happen to them that made them take little breaks from the movie. What do you mean? Well, like Harry bumps his head and forgets everything for a while. Oh, amnesia is always a great storytelling device. And then Sandman gets flushed down a sewer for a bit. Wow, and what about Venom? Oh, well, I just make the symbiote hang out in Peter's apartment doing nothing until I want it in the movie. It just hangs out. Yeah. It just hitches a ride on Peter's scooter from Central Park and chills out. That's a very patient symbiote. So what do you think? Do you think all these story threads are gonna work? I think it's gonna work very well. Very well. So you have a Spider-Man reboot for me? Yes, sir, I do. It's gonna be called The Amazing Spider-Man. Oh, that sounds amazing. Yes. So what's the movie about? Well, it's like a Spider-Man origin movie with some extra origin thrown in there. What do you mean? We're gonna have this whole thing about Peter's parents disappearing and him trying to figure figure out what happened to them? Oh, is that something that people are interested in seeing? I hope so, because we're gonna lean into it pretty hard. So what happens with that storyline? Well, Peter finds some secret papers in his dad's old briefcase, and that leads him to go into this high-tech company, Oscorp, because he wants to figure out what the heck happened. Is it gonna be hard for him to get into a high-tech company like Oscorp? No, it's gonna be super easy, barely an inconvenience. Oh, really? Yeah, there just so happens to be an internship thing going on, so he steals someone's identity and sneaks in. He steals someone's identity, yeah, and then the guy whose identity he stole is gonna get dragged out by security. It's gonna be hilarious. Doesn't that make Peter Parker seem like kind of a jerk? No, it's gonna be charming, because at the beginning of the movie, Peter's gonna help out a kid that's being bullied. Oh, so we're just gonna assume that everything he does past that point is gonna be likable? Yeah, we're gonna have him be a good guy in that one scene and then coast along on that, hoping that people empathize with him. Let's hope that works. Yeah, fingers crossed. So what happens at Oscorp? Well, he's gonna keep being a jerk by breaking into a secure room in the lab. Very charming. And that room's full of spiders, so one of them's gonna bite him, and that leads to him getting his powers. Exactly. So then he wakes up in the subway and discovers his new abilities. Oh, awesome. I love seeing when heroes discover they have powers. So how does it happen? Well, he's gonna undress a woman without her consent. You know, just rip her shirt off. What? Yeah, and then some guys are gonna jump in and defend the woman. You know, that's sexual assault, and then Peter's gonna beat up her defender. Wait, are we doing like a dark reboot of Spider-Man where he's the villain or something? No, he's a good guy. Remember he saved that one kid from Chloe? Oh, right. He's likable. So, what happens with his investigation into his parents' disappearance? Oh, well, we're pretty much gonna abandon that storyline. What do you mean? How's it resolved? We just don't bring it up again. I don't know. We're just ditching the character's whole initial motivation. Yeah, we're gonna shift the focus to Peter trying to figure out who killed Uncle Ben. Oh, Uncle Ben is in this movie. Yeah, of course. So we're gonna have that whole with great power comes great responsibility line. Yeah, well, I didn't want to use that same line, so I found a way for him to convey the same message in a way that fits his mood. Oh, how does he say it? He's like, your father lived by a philosophy, principle, really. He believed that if you could do good things for other people, you had a moral obligation to do those things. That's what's at stake here. Not choice, responsibility. That is just as catchy as with great power comes great responsibility. If not more catchy, it just rolls off the tongue. Agreed. Anyway, so later a guy robs a store, and as he's running away, he drops his gun in front of Uncle Ben. Oh, so Uncle Ben gets out of the way? No, he tries to grab the gun. Was the guy gonna shoot someone nearby or something? No, he was just running away. So why would Uncle Ben do something dangerous like that? Because he needs to die. Well, okay then. So then Peter's gonna rampage around the city trying to find his killer. Oh, does he end up finding him? I don't know. That's another storyline that we're gonna abandon. Oh, we are? Yeah, I really enjoy starting story threads, but I find it's tough to end them, so sometimes I just don't do it. Fair enough. Writing's hard. I also have this antagonist, Rajit, who's just gonna disappear from the movie completely at a certain point, never to be heard of again. Wow. So what else should I know about the movie? Well, you know how Spider-Man's secret identity is super important? Yeah, of course. Yeah, well, not to this version of Spider-Man. Oh, what do you mean? Well, he spends most of his time as Spider-Man without his mask on. He also does a bunch of superhuman stuff at school. He straight up tells Gwen Stacy that he's Spider-Man. He also uses a camera as Spider-Man that says property of Peter Parker right on the back. Well, does anyone not know that he's Spider-Man? Probably not, to be honest. Huh, yeah, he's the worst. So tell me more about the bad guy. Oh, well, his name is Dr. Connors, and he's missing an arm, so he wants to find a way to grow it back. Okay, but then he ends up turning himself into a giant evil lizard. Oh, sounds pretty scary. So what's his evil plan? He wants to turn the whole city into lizards. What? Why? Because he really likes lizards. He thinks everyone should be lizards. Well, okay, so everybody would permanently be lizards. Well, I guess it wouldn't be permanent, because he has to keep injecting himself to turn into one. So his plan is to turn everyone into lizards for a little bit. I guess that's not very nice. Yeah, it's super sneaky, mildly an inconvenience. Yeah, sounds like it. And he's even going to turn this group of cops into lizards. Oh wow, what kind of stuff are they going to do while they're lizards? I don't know, we're going to show them turning into lizards and then only come back to them when they turn back into humans. Keeping it mysterious, that's kind of cool. Yeah, and then the lizard is going to kill Gwen Stacy's father. Oh no. And his dying wish to Peter is that he stay away from his daughter to keep her safe. Wow. So Peter's like, I'm sorry, Gwen, I can't be with you anymore. Well, I mean, obviously he's gonna respect the wish of a dying man. Of course. For about 5 minutes, then he's like, screw that guy. Oh, immediately betraying someone's dying wish is tight. Yes, sir, it is. So what do you think? Hey, man, as long as we keep the rights to Spider-Man out of Disney's hands, I'm happy. Great. So you have an amazing Spider-Man sequel script for me? Yes, sir, I do. And for this one, I really took a look at how people reacted to Spider-Man 3 to learn what not to do in a Spider-Man sequel. That is smart, because people did not like that movie. Exactly. And one of the things that people really hated is that a bunch of time was spent on relationship problems between Peter and MJ. Very true. So instead, what I did was spend a bunch of time on relationship problems between Peter and Gwen Stacy. That's a completely different person. People are gonna appreciate that. Yeah, and instead of being kidnapped and put into dangerous situations like MJ was, Gwen Stacy just straight up runs into them herself. Empowering. And dies. Oh my god. But before she dies, Peter's gonna be like, I stalked you every single day while we were broken up. Oh, stalking a woman is a super romantic gesture. Yeah, unless you're ugly, then it's horrifying. Thank god Peter isn't ugly or Gwen would have been pissed. Yeah. So what other Spider-Man 3 lessons did you apply to the script? Oh, well, another thing that people really didn't like about that movie was the inclusion of the 3 villains. Right, there was Venom, Sandman, and Green Goblin. Exactly, so I made sure not to make that mistake again. Fantastic, so how many villains are there in this one? Still 3, but they're different ones. Oh, so it wasn't that there was too many villains crammed in, it was that they weren't the right ones? Right, so I completely switched it up and went with Rhino, Electro, and Green Goblin. Oh, well, Green Goblin was in Spider-Man 3 as well. Whoops. Whoopsie. So tell me about Rhino, what's his backstory? Doesn't matter. Fair enough. What about Electro? Oh, well, he's gonna become super obsessed with Spider-Man after Spider-Man saves him and reads his name tag. Okay. And later he's gonna get electrocuted and get bitten by a bunch of electric eels. Oh, and that gives him electric powers? You bet it does. And obviously it also, you know, fixes the gap between his teeth. What? Yeah, he's gonna be in a tank full of eels and you're just gonna see his teeth get closer together because of the electricity. Why would that happen though? Well, what are the first things that come to mind when you think of electricity? I guess lightning bolts, eels, right, and also dental work. I'll be honest, if I had to list 5,000 things relating to electricity, I don't think dental work would even make that list. Well, then how do you suggest we fix the gap in this guy's teeth? He could just not have a gap in his teeth or continue to have a gap in his teeth? Oh, you sound insane right now. Wait, does the gap in his teeth factor into the plot or something? No. Okay, you know what, whatever, let's just move on. So anyway, later he's gonna be in Times Square absorbing a bunch of electricity and something's gonna happen that's really gonna turn him into a villain. Oh, what happens? Well, Spider-Man doesn't immediately remember his name and then he gets jealous when all the screens switch from video of him to video of Spider-Man. That's it. Yeah, and also he has voices in his head now or something. We're not really gonna get into it, but he's evil now. That's all you need to know. Well, okay then. So tell me about Green Goblin. Is it gonna be Norman Osborn or his son Harry? Well, it's gonna be Harry, but his dad is gonna be in the movie a bit. Oh yeah? Yeah, Norman's gonna be on his deathbed like, son, I never imagined dying this way. What way? Well, he explains to Harry that he had this super rare disease that only affects Osborns for some reason. Oh no. Yeah, and also that it started to affect him when he was Harry's age, so he's probably gonna get sick too. I thought he said he never imagined dying this way, but he's been dying this way for 40 years. That's right. Wow, dude's not very good at putting 2 and 2 together. I guess not. So anyway, then Norman's gonna die and Peter's gonna come visit Harry. How come? Well, he's gonna be like, hey, old friend, remember how we were childhood best friends? Wait, Peter was best friends with Harry Osborn? Yeah. But pretty much the entire first movie had to do with Oscorp stuff, and we never once mentioned he had a personal relationship with Harry Osborn. I guess he forgot about it. Wow, what a horrible memory. So then Harry decides that he needs Spider-Man's blood to cure himself, so he's like, Peter, you took his picture, you must know Spider-Man. Taking somebody's picture doesn't automatically mean you know them. Well, listen, I need to move the plot forward, so not everything's gonna make sense. Feels like you should have stuff make sense. Feels like you should have stuff make sense. That doesn't make any sense. Exactly. So we good? I don't know anymore. Perfect. So Peter's gonna be like, let's just give this some time, and Harry's gonna be like, I don't have time. Doesn't he have like 40 years before he dies? Well, I want there to be a sense of urgency here, so we're gonna pretend like it's urgent, if you say so. And what else happens in the movie? We're gonna have Aunt May become a nurse. Oh, where's that story thread gonna go? Nowhere. Wow, well, good for her, I guess. Yeah, it's not easy to become a nurse. I'm really proud of her. It'd be pretty cool if it factored into the story in a meaningful way. Yeah, but it's not gonna though. Oh well. So what else should I know about the movie? Well, people really liked when Spider-Man cracked jokes in the first movie, so in this one he's gonna prioritize jokes over human life. Oh, he is? Yeah, like he's gonna have an opportunity to stop Rhino, but instead he's gonna crack some jokes and let him continue his rampage for another 5 minutes. Very irresponsible. And when Electro is going crazy in Times Square, Spider-Man's gonna take the time to put on a fireman hat, even though people are about to die. Oh, playing dress up during life and death situations is tight. It's also extra dangerous because for some reason, every time there's a major crime in New York, everyone forms a crowd to watch. Wow, the people of New York have no sense of self-preservation. We're also gonna have a big story thread where Peter discovers that his father mixed his own DNA in with the Oscorp spiders, and only somebody from his own bloodline could ever get superpowers from them. Really overcomplicating his origin story, huh? Oh, wait till you hear how Peter discovers it. Do tell. He's gonna break his dad's old calculator and find some subway tokens. Then he's gonna go to an abandoned subway station and put them in a coin thingy, and then a separate train's gonna come out of the ground. And in that train is gonna be a message from him. Wow, that is a super complicated way of relaying information. Right, could have just left him a note. So how does the movie end? Well, Green Goblin's gonna team up with Electro because they both hate Spider-Man. Okay. And Electro has these shorts on that came out of nowhere. He just suddenly has shorts on? How's that possible? Do you want to see a lightning penis? No, I don't. Yeah, me neither. So he has some shorts on now. Yeah, okay, good call. So then they're gonna have a big final fight against Spider-Man. Is it gonna be hard for Peter to take on Green Goblin and Electro? No, it's gonna be super easy. Barely an inconvenience. Oh, really? Yeah, Green Goblin is only gonna attack after Electro is dead. They're gonna take turns attacking Spider-Man? Right. I thought the whole thing was that they were gonna team up. Yeah, they're gonna team up individually, one after the other. Pretty awful strategy, but okay. And then we're gonna have Harry Osborn in prison, and we're gonna tease his plan for the Sinister Six. Oh, that's exciting. Yeah, and he's gonna arrange to break Rhino out of prison and give him a Rhino outfit. What's that gonna accomplish? Oh, something, I suppose. Well, and then Spider-Man's gonna swing a manhole cover at him, and we're gonna cut to the credits. Oh, we're not gonna show how that fight ends? Maybe we'll show it at the beginning of the third movie. Well, assuming people enjoy this one. Hey, if Tobey Maguire got 3 Spider-Man movies, Andrew Garfield's getting at least 3. Yeah, you're probably right. So, you have a third Spider-Man movie for me? Yes, sir, I do. So I was thinking in this next one, we could have Peter Parker's whole emotional story revolve around Tony Stark. Oh, I like the sound of that. Yeah, so he's gonna be on the run from all the... Hi there, hello. Who are you? Yeah, can I help you? I'm the studio guy from Sony. I came to talk to you about that offer you made us for a new Spider-Man arrangement. Oh yeah, have you read that? I feel like it's a really good new arrangement. I'm gonna make a ton of money this way. Yeah, but see, I kinda like the version where I make more money. But I like money, that's my whole thing. Ah, well see, therein lies the problem. That is also my thing. Uh-oh, that's not good. Well, I'm sure there's more than enough money to go around. Yeah, that's true. So there's really no need to argue as long as I get most of the money going around. Ah, see, therein lies the problem. I would like most of that money. You are relentless. Oh, I feel like I'm watching my parents fight or something. Oh, your parents are tight. What? So listen, Sony guy, I guess we can compromise and you just give me everything I asked for. That is one way, or we can compromise and just keep things the way they are. It doesn't sound like I'd get more money out of that situation. No, I would. Listen, you don't even know how to make a Spider-Man movie anymore. When we do it, we make over $1 billion. I mean, we made Spider-Verse. That was like a masterpiece. That was pretty good. Pretty good movie. And we made Venom, which was, you know, just as good. Well. So then it's settled. I will make all the money and own all the things. That's not, no, I don't agree with that. I mean, just let us own Spider-Man. We own everything. You're being weird. You're being weird. I'm taking Spider-Man and I'm leaving. What? Yep, I'm leaving. You can't use him in the MCU anymore. Well, can I still use him if he just goes by Night Monkey from now on? No, dang it. Also, I'm taking Screenwriter guy with me. Oh my god. But you can't do that. Yeah, he's coming with me. Well, this is just the worst day ever. Well, I guess I'd better go then. I'm gonna miss you, man. Loving you was super easy, barely an inconvenience. Oh my god, love? Oh, did I completely misread our entire relationship? It certainly seems that way. This was always strictly professional. Oh, whoops. Whoopsie. All right, we gotta go. We got some work to do. Okay, bye. Bye-bye now. So, you have a Spider-Man movie for me? But was it really necessary to take a plane down the street? I don't know. Fair enough. So tell me about your ideas for Spider-Man moving forward. Well, I thought we could start the new movie off with Peter on the run and he meets up with Nick Fury. Well, we can't use Nick Fury. He's in the MCU. Oh, yeah, that's right. Okay, well, Peter modifies his Stark suit. Can't have a Stark suit. That's MCU. Okay, yeah, okay. So Aunt May and Happy are together. And can't have Happy. Wow, that actually sums up my feelings pretty accurately. Tell you what we do. We go back a couple years. We meet Uncle Ben. Uh-oh. And then we kill that son of a gun. We kill him, right? We kill him dead, and then we have, I don't know, Green Goblin show up. Yeah, I don't know if people want to see all that again. Yeah, people love when that old dude gets shot. I mean... Okay. Oh.
Enemy landed
Oh.
near me.
Oh. What's that? What's going on? Well, I think the news of this arrangement just broke. Twitter is going nuts. They're happy that Spidey's out of the MCU, huh? You know, not exactly. No. What are you talking about? Oh my God. Yeah. I need to make some calls.
Alert 5, Valkyrie on station. We are go for burn. Burn is a go.
Take care.
At this time, all electronics should be set to airplane mode. This means use simulacrums.
So, you have a Captain America script for me? Yes, sir, I do. And I got your email about needing this to set up the Avengers movie, so I'm going to call it Captain America's First Avenger. Oh, using a movie title as an ad for another movie is tight. I thought you might like that. Hell, let's push it even further and call it Captain America, Please Go See the Avengers when it comes out in theaters. Oh, that might be pushing it a bit far, though. Or maybe we could call it Captain America, The Avengers is going to be so good, you guys. Or maybe we could stick to Captain America, The First Avenger. Okay, fine, but how about this? Instead of having a post-credit scene, we have an actual commercial for the Avengers. Oh, that's pretty heavy-handed, but okay. Awesome. So what happens when you live it? Well, this guy Roger wants to fight in World War II, but he has a bunch of health problems, and he's really small. How small are we talking? It's gonna look like we CGI'd the head of a full-grown man onto the body of a third grader. Oh, that sounds kind of disturbing, visually speaking. Yeah, not gonna lie, it's gonna be pretty unsettling to look at. Wow. Anyway, so he goes into this training camp and sees this super soldier. Okay. And this colonel decides to test the soldiers by throwing a big grenade at them. Oh my god. And Steve Rogers jumps onto the grenade without any hesitation, so they're like, yeah, this is our guy. Oh, and they're gonna have to cure his depression before he becomes a super soldier? What? I mean, without hesitation, he tried to kill himself. No, it was like a bravery thing, not a I wanna die kind of thing. Oh, my bad. I thought he was like, oh, here's my way out. Anyway, so then we're gonna do the scientist thing from Iron Man 1. What scientist thing from Iron Man 1? Well, you know how in Iron Man 1, there's a kind-hearted scientist with a foreign accent who helps the hero get his powers and then dies immediately after? Yeah. Well, in this movie, we're gonna have a kind-hearted scientist with a foreign accent who helps the hero get his powers and then dies immediately after. Are people gonna mind that we're doing the exact same thing again? No, he's gonna have a different foreign accent. Oh, okay, nobody's gonna notice then. Right. So then what happens? Well, then this bad guy steals the only thing of super soldier serum left. So Cap chases down his car through the streets of New York on foot, and then he dives into the water and pulls him out of a moving submarine, and he's just super powerful now. Oh, so that colonel must be super excited that the procedure worked. No, he's like, I have no use for you. He says no to a guy that chased down a car on foot and pulled a guy out of a moving submarine. That's what we're going with. Well, okay then. So then Steve becomes an entertainer for like 10 minutes of runtime. Why would we have that in the movie? Literally just to explain why he has a silly name and a costume. Oh, okay, and is there a villain in the film? Yes, sir, there is, and he has pretty much the same powers as Captain America, but evil. Oh, the bad guy has the same power set as the hero? I don't think we've done that in a Marvel movie yet. Really? Oh, wait, no, we have repeatedly. Oh, should I switch it up then? Oh, hell no. Well, okay. So what's this guy's name? His name is Red Skull. Oh, that is a really good villain name. Yeah, it is, but most of the time people are gonna refer to him by his given name. What's his given name? It's Schmidt. Oh, that is substantially less cool. Yeah, so anyway, he's obsessed with this thing called the Tesseract. What's the Tesseract? It's like this glowing blue Avengers commercial that has the power of the gods. Wow. We're also gonna have a love story going on between Cap and this agent Peggy Carter. Oh yeah? Yeah, she's gonna be the love of his life, so it could be like a recurring thing in his movies. Wow, so how long are they together? Not at all, actually. They kiss once. Oh, well, in movies, I guess a single kiss does basically mean you're in love. True, although Cap is gonna kiss someone else in the movie. Oh, really? Yeah, and Peggy's gonna get super mad and shoot a gun at him. Oh my god, and this is a love story for the ages? Yeah, it's gonna be real romantic. If you say so. I do. So you said this movie takes place during the Second World War. It's gonna be hard to have Cap appear in a modern-day Avengers movie. Actually, it's gonna be super easy, barely an inconvenience. Oh, really? Yeah. We're just gonna have him make, you know, the most unnecessary sacrifice ever. What do you mean? Well, he's gonna be in a plane that has bombs in it, so he's gonna crash it into a frozen ocean. Right, seems unnecessary to be in the plane when it crashes. Yeah, but this way he turns into a capsicle, and at the end of the movie, we'll have him wake up in a modern-day commercial for the Avengers. I love it. Yeah, so, you know, you could remove that actual commercial from the post-credit scene if you want. No, that stays. Fair enough. So wait, what happens to Red Skull? Well, he's gonna touch the Tesseract, and something is gonna happen. Oh, what's gonna happen? Like a space beam. He's gonna disappear. I don't know. What are you talking about? Yeah, I figured I'd just do that, and some future screenwriter can figure out a way to make it clever. Okay, man, you're trying to shoehorn in an explanation somewhere down the line. Awesome, thank you. Hey guys, Ryan here. Hope you like that pitch meeting. A lot more of these on the channel you can check out. A lot. You can also let me know in the comment section what other movies you'd like to see pitches for. And we did just launch a new series called Theory Battle that you can check out too. In that we go head to head with 2 different film theories, and you guys decide in the comment section which one's the most plausible. It's pretty fun. Check it out if you have a chance. And don't forget to like this video, subscribe, share it on Facebook, Twitter, you know the drill. I'll get back soon with a new one. Bye-bye. So you have an Avengers commercial for me? Yes, sir, I do. And this one's going to be an origin story for Captain Marvel. Oh, wow, we've done a lot of origin stories. How are we going to keep this fresh? By doing our normal origin story stuff. Keep our memory lost so we can reveal it in little fragments. Oh, that is slightly different. Plus, we'll put this one in the 90s because, you know, so many people are dead. Yeah, so Captain Marvel is part of this Kree alien Star Force crew. Okay. But she's gonna slowly come to learn that she was a fighter pilot on Earth. It's gonna be fun for us to learn that with her. No, we're already gonna know. Oh, we are? Yeah, but we're gonna get to watch her figure it out, you know, much slower than us. I guess that's exciting. Maybe. So anyway, Captain Marvel is in training with this Kree guy, Njan, and he keeps telling her to stop being so emotional. Okay, so she's like super emotional then? No, she's gonna be mostly stoic the entire movie, but people are gonna keep telling her to stop being emotional. So what's her personality like though? Oh, well sometimes she makes clever remarks and then does a little smirk like this. Oh, that should be enough personality, right? I hope so, because that's about it. So what actually happens in the movie? Oh, well, these Kree aliens are at war with these shape-shifting aliens called the Skrulls. Okay. And we're gonna meet this Skrull commander, Talos. And what's his deal? Oh, well, he's green and for some reason Australian. Oh, being inexplicably Australian is tight. Yeah, and he's like taking the form of the director of S.H.I.E.L.D. or something. So what happened to the old director? Unclear. Huh. Anyway, so Captain Marvel's gonna end up landing on Earth and the Skrulls are gonna chase her. Uh-oh. Then at the same time, she's trying to figure out her origin story, so her and Nick Fury go see Maria Rambeau, who might have a past with her. Oh, Nick Fury, that's fun. That's gonna cost us so much in de-aging. And Rambeau is like, yeah, we were best friends and pilots together, and it kinda sucks that you don't remember. But that does kinda suck. And then Talos shows up. Oh, no, the Australian. Oh, don't worry. He's like, hey, we're good guys, so please do a 180 on this immediately, okay? And she does. And she does. Wow, and Rambeau must be freaking out to find out that aliens exist. She'll barely react to it. Huh, yeah, she'll see a Skrull outside that's taking her form and playing with her daughter, and she'll be like, well, that's kind of weird, let's move on. Very considerate of her to not react so we can keep the story moving. Yeah, very considerate. Wow. So then Captain Marvel has to get ready to fight the Kree, so she has to change her costume colors. Why does she need to do that? So we can sell different versions of her toys. Oh, I love you so much. Yeah, and she has a little panel on her arm that lets her do that for some reason, so she lets Rambeau's daughter pick the colors. Isn't the kid gonna have a hard time figuring out alien graphic design technology? Not even a little bit. Oh, and then we're gonna have these flashbacks from Captain Marvel's life where she's dealing with tough situations and mean guys. Oh, we are. Yeah, just this amazing montage where she gets knocked down, but she gets up again. You know, they're never gonna keep her down. Oh, does she drink a whiskey drink and then a vodka drink and then a lager drink and then a cider drink? What the hell are you talking about? Actually, this is making me think we should put a bunch of 90s music in this thing. Yeah, I guess we could, but let's not overdo it. No, let's overdo it. Oh, okay. Yeah, let's get real heavy-handed with it. Let's even play Just a Girl from No Doubt during the final fight scene. Oh, very unsubtle. Yeah, super on the nose. It's gonna be great. Anyway, so yeah, then she's gonna have to fight the Kree. Wow, is it gonna be difficult for her to take them on? Actually, it's gonna be super easy. Barely an inconvenience. Oh, really? Yeah, she just kind of taps into her full power and, you know, becomes the most powerful hero we've ever seen. What was her power set before that? Like photon blasts or something? Oh, very vague. Yeah, kind of. And what are her powers now? Oh, just, you know, all of them. Well, okay then. Oh, we're also gonna kind of find out that she got her powers because of the Tesseract. Remember that? If you haven't seen the previous MCU films, you don't understand what that is. Oh, I don't know. I'm just kidding. We stopped caring about these people like 5 years ago. Okay, yeah, I was wondering why you brought them up. Anyway, I think it sounds good, but it could be more entertaining, you know? Did I mention there's a cat? You didn't? Yeah, there's a cat named Goose. Okay, so, you know, there you go. That makes everything more entertaining. Well, I don't know about that factor. Sure it does. Check this out. Oh, it's a kitty cat. Yeah, see, everything's more entertaining now. Oh, wow, what a great day this turned out to be. Wait, where were you keeping that? Anyway, so this cat is actually what? And he's gonna scratch Nick Fury, and that's how he loses the eye. I feel like that really undermines the badass nature of the character. Yeah, but it's gonna be funny. That is more important. And so then Captain Marvel is gonna modify Fury's pager and be like, only contact me in case of emergency. Oh, okay, and that's why he knew to call her at the end of Infinity War? Exactly. That means that aliens invading New York is not an emergency? Guess not. And a super sophisticated AI trying to take over the world wasn't an emergency either? No, both those situations were not a big deal, apparently. Also, Nick Fury finds out that her nickname was Avenger. There's a photo that says Carol Avenger Danvers. Okay. And so that gives him an idea of a name for a new initiative he's working on. Oh. You see where I'm going with this? Yeah. Yeah. The Carol Initiative. No, the Avengers Initiative. Oh, right, that makes more sense. So yeah, now fans are gonna finally know where that name came from. Were fans wondering that? No. Well, okay then. And so yeah, that's about it. Well, it sounds like a lot of fun. I hope people don't get too mad. Why would people get mad? Because this character is a lady and the internet exists? It's just a superhero movie. I don't see how people could get upset about this. Brian Hero, if you like that pitch reading. There are over 100. If you'd like to see pitch meetings more, don't forget to like and subscribe and share on Twitter.
Got a bandit.
Bye-bye.
Things out.
So you have a script for me? Yes, sir, I do. So we're gonna follow Tony Stark,
Fox 3, dumping the pod.
Playboy. Everhart is really going to challenge him on the ethics of selling weapons. Oh, well, that's good, because sometimes when there's a Playboy character in movies, there's a tendency to... And then Tony's gonna bang her. Oh, he is. And then Tony's assistant Pepper is gonna call her trash and kick her out of the house. Oh my god. Yeah, it's gonna be hilarious. Well, okay then. So anyway, Tony's gonna go to Afghanistan to show off a new weapon called the Jericho to the U.S. military. Sounds like something they could do in the U.S. There's lots of weapons testing facilities. Yeah, well, they're gonna do it in Afghanistan because I need it for the story. Later, he's gonna be in a convoy that's gonna get attacked by terrorists. That's not good. And so
what the fuck? And
he's gonna have this thing in his chest that's using the car battery to power from entering his heart. I have to say, it sounds like you pinned him in a situation that's gonna be impossible to get out of. Actually, it's gonna be super easy. Oh, really? The terrorists want him to build
Why? Finally!
Super reckless. They also leave him with the doctor guy that saved his life was like the nicest
and all kill him in
room or something, right? No, they are kind of keeping an eye on things through a security that works. Anyway, so since Tony Stark has a bunch of weapon building material and little to no supervision and a new best friend to help him out, powered by a mini arc reactor. A mini arc reactor? Yeah, it's like a super powerful energy source to power the magnet so he doesn't have to carry a car battery around. Wow. Yeah, the doctor guy like 50 lifetimes. Wait, is the thing running Tony's heart or powering the magnet? So why would that guy say that? I don't know. What a strange guy. Yeah. So anyway, Tony's gonna kill a bunch of terrorists and there's gonna be fire and explosions. How's Tony able to see out of the suit? Well, the mask has some pretty massive eyeballs. Fires and explosions don't roast his eyeballs. Fireproof eyeballs are tight. Yeah, so then Tony's gonna go back to the US and the first thing he does is go to Burger King. Well, actually, I was thinking he could go to... No, I'm telling you that the first thing he does is go to Burger King. I already cashed a check from them. Oh, it's a product placement thing. Okay, what does he get from Burger King? A cheeseburger and probably diarrhea, if we're being honest. I'll add it into the script. Probably just the cheeseburger part, though. So what does he do after that? Well, now he's changed and he wants to do good, so he announces that his company's not going to make weapons anymore. Would that jeopardize the entire company and cause hundreds of people to lose their jobs? Probably. Kind of weird that his first good act is going to destroy hundreds of families. Whoops. Whoopsie. So anyway, then Tony's going to build himself a really good Iron Man suit. Okay. And he's going to have a hard time getting it to fly, but eventually he's going to get the hang of it. And what does he do with it? Well, he does to kill people and accidentally blows up a U.S. fighter jet. This guy kinda sucks. Kinda. Wow. And who else is in the movie? We're also going to have this guy, Obadiah Stane. Oh, so he's the bad guy? How could you tell? Well, his name is Obadiah Stane, so I figured he's either a bad guy or a general in the American Civil War. Well, it's the first one. That does make the most sense. So anyway, Obadiah works on building his own Iron Man type suit. So you're saying the bad guy has similar powers as the hero, but uses them for evil? Exactly. Okay, before you say anything else, I love that and I want to do it over and over again. I don't know. Well, okay then. So what else happens? Well, Obadiah can't figure out the arc reactor thing, so he paralyzes Tony and steals his. Uh-oh, is he gonna kill him? No, he's gonna explain his evil plan to him and then leave him for dead. Why wouldn't he just kill him, though? Because there has to be a final fight. Fair enough. So then there's gonna be a final fight. Right. And Obadiah's a really good fighter, so super tough for Tony. Didn't we have a whole thing where it takes Tony a while to figure out how to use the suit properly? Yeah, well, Obadiah's gonna get the hang of it immediately. Wow, so then they're gonna have a crazy Obadiah's gonna exactly. Well, I guess it's to murder Tony in a very public way and hope that solves all his problems. Doesn't seem like it would. Yeah, it's not the best plan. Huh. So anyway, Tony's gonna fly so high up that Obadiah's suit freezes and he's gonna fall all the way back down to Earth. Well, if he dies, I don't know. Fair enough. So then Tony's gonna get Pepper to overload this giant arc reactor thing so it blows up and kills Obadiah. Wouldn't that also kill Tony? It would and it should, but it won't. Very lucky. And so yeah, that's about it. Wow. So what do you think? Well, it sounds like a pretty fun superhero movie. Okay. So yeah, I say let's give it a shot. I doubt it'll be huge, but hey guys, Ryan here. Hope you like that pitch meeting. Just let me know in the comment section what are the movies you'd like to see pitches for. Also, if you liked it, please do give it a like. There are also a lot of these videos. As always, check back soon for a new one. Bye-bye. So you have an Iron Man sequel script for me? Yes, sir, I do. So you know how everyone loved the first Iron Man movie? I mean, yeah, that's why we're talking right now. That's a very good point. Anyway, I asked myself, how can we make people like this movie like 5 times more than that one? Oh yeah? What'd you come up with? Well, I figured we could take what should probably be like 5 separate Iron Man movies and cram them all into one. Are you worried it's gonna feel disjointed and all over the place? Well, to be honest, at first I was worried, but then I was like, I'm hungry, and I went to get a burrito and completely forgot about it. Whoops. Whoopsie. So what are all these storylines we're gonna be following? Well, there's one about the government wanting to get their hands on Tony's technology. There's another about Tony's competitor Justin Hammer trying to replicate his tech. There's a whole thing where Tony has daddy issues. There's a thing about him handing the company over to Pepper Potts and also he's in love with her. Then there's a bad Russian guy that's trying to kill him, and then there's a whole thing about Tony slowly being killed by his own suit. That should definitely be more than one movie. Oh yeah, it's gonna be a real cram fest. And you said Tony's being killed by his suit? Yeah, he's being poisoned by the arc reactor thing in his chest. The arc reactor that's powering the magnet keeping shrapnel out of his heart? Yeah, so he's gotta figure something out or he's gonna die. I mean, why doesn't he just swap that out for another non-toxic power source? He literally had that thing running on a car battery in the first movie. Well, the arc reactor also powers the suit, so I guess he wouldn't be Iron Man without it? Oh, so the arc reactor has to be inside his chest cavity for the suit to work? Well, no, because Rhodey is able to put on a suit later and he doesn't have an arc reactor in his chest cavity. So it seems like Tony has a pretty easy solution here. Yeah, well, eventually he is gonna solve it. Oh, how does he do that? By synthesizing a new element. What? Yeah, it turns out his dad had discovered a new element, and so he hid the plans for it in a diorama so that his son could decipher it in the future. Seems overly complicated. Oh yeah, it's super complicated and way over the top, but he ends up figuring it out. Yeah, but when he discovers the plans, Jarvis is like, bad news, Tony, this element is impossible to synthesize. Oh, so what does Tony do? He immediately does it. But how? By being smart and doing it. Why even mention that it's impossible to do if we're just gonna have him do it immediately? Because it's dramatic. If you say so. I do. So anyway, there's also this bad guy named Whiplash. Oh, what's his deal? Well, Tony's dad completely ruined his dad's life, so he wants to kill Tony. Okay. So he builds an arc reactor of his own and makes these crazy whip things. Is he not able to make anything better than whips? Oh no, he definitely is, but his villain name is Whiplash. Oh, so he has to make whips at least once in the movie. Exactly. Very smart. Anyway, so he goes to this race in Monaco and just starts chopping up cars with his whips. What's his plan here? To kill Tony. How's he supposed to do that by chopping up race cars? Well, at the last minute before the race, Tony actually got into one of the cars. Oh, how did Whiplash know he was gonna do that? He didn't. It was completely spur of the moment. So what was his plan to kill Tony if he hadn't gotten into a car randomly? I don't know. Fair enough. Anyway, so then Happy Hogan is gonna have to rush to bring Tony his suit. Oh, that's exciting. Yeah, so he's gonna have to drive against traffic on the racetrack, but before he leaves, he's like, come on, Pepper, come sit in the back seat. Why would he bring her on that insanely dangerous mission? So she can be there. But anyway, so then they're gonna ram into Whiplash with their car. But I'm guessing his armor blocks the damage. Oh, he doesn't have armor. What? Yeah, no, he's like practically bare-chested. Well, then why didn't any security guards shoot him or something? I don't know. I guess they were busy with other stuff, huh? Busy day at the racetrack. Anyway, so then Happy's gonna ram his car into Whiplash like 4 times. So Whiplash dies? No, because when cars ram into people, it doesn't do any damage to the human body. Oh, learning new stuff about cars is tight. I'm gonna go play in traffic right after this meeting. Well, I can't recommend that enough. That's gonna be awesome. Oh yeah, it is. So anyway, Justin Hammer is gonna hire hire Whiplash to make some tech, but he's gonna end up making a bunch of drones and an Iron Man suit of his own. Oh, so there's gonna be a final battle where Tony fights someone who also has a suit? That's right. Didn't we do that in the last movie? Yeah. Well, people did like that movie, so I guess it makes sense to do it again. My thoughts exactly. So how does Tony bring him down? Well, Whiplash opens his helmet mid-fight for no reason, so Tony and Rhodey are able to blast him and do some serious damage. Wow, super nice of him to expose a huge weak spot in the middle of a fight to the death. Yeah, it's definitely helpful of him to do that. Now, I don't quite understand what Whiplash's personality is supposed to be. Well, he's Russian, and also he has a bird. That's it, pretty much. I love it. Great. Also, I hate to do this, but we kind of have to hype up the Avengers in this movie. Is there something you can shoehorn in there? Are you asking me to shove another story thread into this movie? Yeah, I guess I am. Well, hell yeah, I can. Super easy. Barely an inconvenience. Oh, really? Yeah, I'll toss Black Widow in there. What's she gonna do? She's gonna be there. That is great. I can also have Nick Fury show up. Maybe they're assessing if Tony's good for the Avengers. Well, let's not get too ahead of ourselves here. Oh, well, at the end, I'll have him be like, you know what? We don't want you on the team, but you could be a consultant. Oh, wow, so there's not gonna be any payoff to the story thread in this movie. I love it. Oh, yeah, it's gonna be a huge tease that's only gonna pay off in a couple of years. I love the sound of that. We should do something like that in every movie. Sounds good to me. Great. So you're cool with the script? Yeah, it sounds great. I'm sure everyone's gonna be really pumped to come back for the sequel. Oh, yeah, why wouldn't they be?
Attention.
Hey guys, Ryan here. Hope you like that pitch. If there are other movies you'd like to see pitches for, let me know in the comments section below. And if you like this one, you can give it a like, maybe a comment, share it on Facebook and Twitter, and check back soon for a new one. Bye-bye now. So, you have a Hulk script for me? Yes, sir, I do. And since a Hulk movie came out just a couple of years ago, we're gonna speed through all the origin stuff and just have him start out in hiding. Oh, so this is a sequel? Yeah, except all the actors and the style and the tone and a bunch of story elements are all different now. So it's like a reboot, except it kind of picks up where the last one left off. So it's like a re-quill or a C-boot or like a C-re. What was that? Oh, Apple is letting me test run some of their new software. No thank you, Siri. So anyway, yeah, Bruce has been hiding out in Brazil and trying to avoid hulking out, so he stays away from promotions, tries to remain calm. Exactly. Very smart. And he also gets a job in a chaotic factory jam-packed with aggressive people. What? We're also gonna see him do a bunch of exciting stuff like shirtless yoga and shirtless breathing exercises. Watching people breathe is tight. Oh yeah, and that's an activity you can do pretty much anywhere. I like watching people breathe while they sleep. Oh, that's super creepy. Yeah, anything against the bad guys want to track down the Hulk so they can weaponize it. That kind of sounds like the bad guy's motivation in the Iron Man movie we're working on. Should I change it? It's probably fine. I mean, there's going to be a time gap between the films. How big of a gap? 1 month? That should do it. Great. Anyway, so a bunch of soldiers are going to shoot at the Hulk, but he's like bulletproof, so it doesn't do anything. Oh, so they realize that the guns are pointless and it's useless to shoot him with them? No, they're going to keep shooting at him with bullets throughout the entire movie. They don't learn a thing. Wow, they explain to them. So what are they going to do? Not shoot him? Trying to avoid being captured by the military. Isn't that kind of what happened in the first Hulk movie? People thought that was kind of drawn out and boring. Yeah, people did say that movie was kind of long, but this one's gonna be shorter. Oh, how much shorter are we talking? 3 minutes. Oh, fantastic. Anyway, we're also gonna do a thing where Bruce wants to go visit his girlfriend at a university, but everyone's on high alert because the military knows he might try to get in touch with her. Oh, wow, so it's gonna be tough for him to sneak in there. Actually, super easy, barely an inconvenience. Oh, really? Yeah, he just gives pizza to 2 different guys and that solves all his problems. Using pizza for stealth purposes is my third favorite way to use pizza. We're also gonna have a scene where Bruce is about to bang, but he has to stop himself because if he gets too aroused, he'll turn into the Hulk. Wow, feels pretty unnecessary to include that. Oh yeah, it's super unnecessary, and we're gonna make everyone picture an aroused Hulk. Oh, I hate that that image is in my brain right now. Yeah, it burns. So what else happens in the movie? Well, we're gonna have a bad guy turn into a bad version of the Hulk, and they're gonna have a big CGI fight. Wow, that is exactly what we're gonna do in the Iron Man movie. Wow, thank God they're coming out a month apart. Well, actually, I think the bad guy with similar powers thing is gonna be something that's gonna come back a lot in the MCU. Great. So what else happens? Well, some of Bruce's blood is gonna fall into the open wound of this scientist guy, and he's gonna start to transform into a monster too. Oh, where's that gonna go? Nowhere. But like in a sequel or something? Not even. Well, okay then. And at the end, we're gonna have a thing where Bruce is meditating again. So fun to watch. And then he's gonna open his eyes and look directly into the camera, and his eyes are green, and he's gonna smile. Why? Because movies do do that sometimes. But what does it mean? Can he control the powers now? Maybe, I don't know. Movies do this though. How did that happen? Look, I just want the main character to look directly into the camera and smile. We don't have to overthink it. Well, okay then. So what do you think? It sounds like a lot of fun. I mean, I don't know how anyone could dislike this script. Well, great.
Well, why don't we land there?
Hey guys, Ryan here. Hope you enjoyed that pitch meeting. Let me know in the comment section what other movies you'd like to see pitches for. We also have a ton of these on the channel that you can watch. You can also
മാസ്റ്റർ ട്രെയിൽസ് കഴിഞ്ഞ സീസൺ 1 മില്യൺ മാസ്റ്റേഴ്സ് ഉണ്ടായിരുന്നെന്നാണ് അപ്പാരന്റ് ഞാൻ കേട്ടത്. മോനെ എത്ര കോളനിയാവും ഞാൻ വിചാരിച്ചു. Please, one petty.
So you have a Thor script for me? Yes, sir, I do. That sounds like it's gonna be fun. Yeah, it's gonna be fine. Oh, yeah, like it's gonna be all right. Well, okay, I guess that'll have to do. Great. So the movie follows Thor, who's supposed to become the next king of Asgard. Oh, Asgards are tight. They make it a lot less painful when you fall on your butt. That's not at all what I meant, though. Whoops. Whoopsie. So what kind of Asgard are you talking about? It's like a giant church organ where gods live, and it has a rainbow shooting out of it. Wow, I can't wait for our team to generate that. So what's the movie actually about? Well, everything kind of stems from the fact that Thor's dad, Odin, is a horrible father. How's that? Well, when his sons are young, he's like, you're both great and destined to be kings, but only one of them should be king, so good luck with that. Oh, pretty much guaranteeing that one of them should become a villain. Yeah, and Thor's brother Loki is actually a frost giant, and Odin adopted him. Told him about it. What are frost giants? They're these giant blue creatures that have ice powers and stuff. So Loki is blue and giant, but he never realized he was adopted. No, he's pale and tiny, but he does turn kind of evil when he gets mad sometimes. Oh, he's like a crappy discount version of the Hulk. Yeah. So what happens in the movie? Well, Thor decides to attack the frost giants. So his dad gets mad and takes away his powers and passes him out to Earth. Okay. He puts a spell on his magical hammer and says that only somebody that's worthy can wield it. Oh, so he's gonna try to find another Asgardian that's worthy? Nah, he's gonna toss it down to Earth too. What? Yeah, he's like, things will work themselves out, I guess. This guy is pretty awful. Yeah, I'm just using him to drive the plot forward, so he does some pretty nonsensical stuff. So what happens with Thor on Earth? Well, he meets this scientist, Jane Foster, and she thinks he might be a crazy person. Oh yeah? Yeah, but anyway, they're gonna fall madly in love in just a couple of days. Why? Well, they have a lot in common. They're both single and attractive. Oh, that's the basis of any strong relationship. Yeah, so at the end of the movie, Thor's gonna get his powers back, so Jane's gonna see that he's not crazy. He's actually a god. Wow, how does she react when she finds out? How would you react if you just found out that gods exist? Well, we're talking about a complete reshaping of the world's religious beliefs, so I guess I'd be like, oh my god. Yeah, about the same level of enthusiasm as if you just found out that Pizza Hut's having a 2-for-1 deal. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, so that's pretty much how Jane reacts. Very appropriate reaction. Yeah, I thought so. Oh, just by the way, one of our tripods has a broken leg, so I hope it's cool if like half the shots in the movie are kind of tilted sideways. You really can't just get a new tripod? Well, we're just starting out with this cinematic universe. We can't be wasting money on stuff like that. All right, well, I guess we'll just really lean into the Dutch angles and hope that people's necks don't hurt by the end of the movie. Fantastic. So anyway, while Thor is on Earth, Loki is hatching an elaborate plan to win his father's approval. Oh, how does he plan on doing that? By killing the frost giants. Wasn't trying to fight the frost giants the whole reason that Odin kicked Thor out? That's right. So why does Loki think that would work? I don't know. Fair enough, but does it work though? Obviously not, because he didn't want that. Right, that makes sense. Yeah. Anything else I should know about the movie? Oh, Hawkeye is gonna be there. Oh yeah, what's he gonna do? I just told you. He's gonna be there. Yes. Is he gonna shoot an arrow? Well, okay then. Anyway, so at the end of the movie, Thor's gonna save the day by destroying the Rainbow Bridge. Actually, we're taking Thor back on Earth with the Avengers next year. What are you saying? It's just that if the climax of this movie is him destroying his only way back to Earth, it's gonna be hard to explain how he gets back. Actually, it's gonna be super easy, barely an inconvenience. Oh, really? Yeah, in the Avengers, we could just be like, he came back with dark magic or something. That's pretty vague. Yeah, super vague. Also, it kind of undercuts the whole ending of this movie. Oh, yeah, I guess it kind of does. Oh, well, how about we do it anyway? Oh, I love it. Great. So what do you think of the movie? Well, I mean, it has gods, magic, action. I think it has the potential to be the strongest Marvel trilogy we ever make. Wow. Hey guys, Ryan here. Hope you like that pitch meeting. A lot more of these on the channel that you can check out. You can also let me know in the comment section what other movies you'd like to see pitches for. Give it a like, maybe share it on Facebook and Twitter. And we also just recently launched a new series called Theory Battle. In that we go head-to-head with 2 different film theories. And you guys decide in the comment section which one of them is the most plausible. It's a lot of fun. Maybe check it out. And as always, check back soon for a new pitch meeting. Bye-bye. So you have a new superhero script for me? Yes, sir, I do. And it's kind of a sequel to all the movies we've done so far. So there's Captain America, Iron Man, Thor. Oh yeah, Thor's the one where we shot like half his movie in Dutch angles, right? Yeah, what was up with that? Was the tripod broken or something? One of the tripod legs was broken, that's right. I thought so. So who else is there? Well, in terms of superheroes, there's also Hulk, there's Spider-Man, there's... Nope, not him. What? We can't have Spider-Man in there. Oh, how come? Well, we don't have the rights to the character. Ah, crap, that's right. Yeah, so unfortunately, we're never, ever, 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 ever gonna see Spider-Man in a Marvel Studios movie. You all right? What's up? You had like a weird eye twitch or something. You have something in your eye? Yes. There was also a bell noise or something. So what happens in the movie? Well, there's a magic box called the Tesseract that's misbehaving, and so S.H.I.E.L.D. is trying to figure out why. And they're trying everything. I mean, they poke it with a stick and stuff. Oh, poking it with a stick doesn't help? Not at all. And then a portal opens up, and out comes the big scary threat of the movie. Oh, is it a spooky skeleton? No, because that'd be scary. Yeah, but it's not a spooky skeleton. It's actually Loki. Loki from the Tilty Thor movie? I thought that movie ended with him killing himself by jumping into some kind of spatial abyss. Yeah, he's fine now. Oh, that didn't kill him? No, and that's something I'd actually really like to start pushing in Marvel movies, that nobody ever actually dies. That's right. I like it, so how does he survive? Oh, we're barely gonna explain it. Works for me. So then Loki uses a scepter to mind control Eric Selvig, the scientist from the Tilty Thor movie, and also Hawkeye. Hawkeye? Oh yeah, he actually ends up being one of the Avengers. What are his superpowers? Oh, he's awesome. He shoots arrows. Very well. Yeah, what else? That's about it. Oh, but sometimes the arrows explode, and sometimes they have computer viruses. He shoots computer virus arrows? Yeah, sure, I don't know. All right. So basically, Loki wants to use the Tesseract to open a portal so his alien army could come through. Where's he get an alien army? When he was floating in space, he met this guy named
come on.
Guy, Thanos. Thanos? Yeah, we're actually gonna have a mid-credit scene where he shows up. Oh, is he like the upcoming villain or something? Exactly. Amazing. In 6 years. What? Anyway, so Nick Fury's like, uh-oh, stuff is crazy. I'm gonna move forward with the Avengers Initiative. And what does that mean exactly? It means they're gonna invite Bruce Banner, Tony Stark, and Steve Rogers to come hang out. That's his plan? Yeah, he figures if you get them all in the same room, that'll kind of fix everything. Also, Natasha Romanoff from Iron Man 2 is there. Oh, Black Widow's in this. Yeah, so once again, she's gonna be in very tight leather, but this time doing even more action scenes. Oh, I bet that's gonna be uncomfortable for her. Oh yeah, I'd say so. So what else happens? Well, Loki's gonna get captured by the Avengers, but then Thor is gonna show up and try to take him. How does Thor get back to Earth? Didn't he destroy the only way back at the end of his film? Yeah, we're barely gonna explain that. Gotcha. Well, I guess it's good that Thor's there now because they can get Jane Foster to help out. Why would they do that? Well, her and Eric Selvig are kind of the authorities on portal science, so if anyone can help out, it's her. Okay, yeah, that's a good idea, but instead of doing that, they're gonna send her off to an island or something. Oh, yeah, she's not even in this movie. It's more of a let's solve things with punching kind of movie. Gotcha. So anyway, Thor and Iron Man and Captain America get into a fight over Loki. And so he escapes? No, he just kind of stands around and waits for them to finish up. Oh, doesn't that make them suspicious? That means he clearly wants to get captured. Yeah, but they still bring him onto the helicarrier thing. Huh. So then it turns out that Loki's plan is to turn Bruce Banner into the Hulk. Oh, well, I guess Bruce wouldn't be stupid enough to get on an airplane if there was any danger of him turning. Well, to be fair, S.H.I.E.L.D. didn't tell him he was gonna be on a plane. What? Why? Because it was a fun little surprise. They were like, guess what? This boat's actually a plane. Whoa. That seems wildly irresponsible. Oh yeah. Huh. And then Loki kills this agent Phil Coulson. Oh, but you said people don't actually die. Yeah, no, I was thinking he could come back for like a spin-off show or something. I love it. So now that Agent Coulson is dead, they have something to avenge, and so they become the Avengers. That's right. The awesome thing about that is that that's the title of the movie. Then the American alien army comes to the portal and the Avengers yeah, and then S.H.I.E.L.D. is like, let's nuke the city. What? They immediately resort to nukes. I don't know. Seems drastic. So then Tony takes it, blows up the mothership, which he knew was there for some reason. Amazing. And so then all the aliens die all at once. Why? Well, the ship blew up. Why does that affect them? Because. Okay,
sure,
so...
fuck it.
Yeah, but the portal is still open, right? Is that gonna be hard to close down? No, actually, super easy. Barely an inconvenience. What do you mean? Yeah, well, when Eric Selvig was like totally brainwashed, he built in a failsafe, so they just have to poke it with Loki's scepter. How did he manage to do that if he was totally brainwashed? Oh, we're not gonna explain that. Huh. So what do you think? Well, it sounds really cool. Yeah. But I think that this many superheroes is kind of crazy. Yeah, I guess, kind of. So in future Marvel movies, let's maybe not go so nuts on the characters? Absolutely. We'll tone it down a notch. Hey guys, Ryan here. Hope you like that pitch meeting. There are a lot more on the channel, so be sure to check those out. And let me know what other movies or TV shows I should do pitches for. You could also subscribe to the channel. There's a
anyways,
button for that. And you can also check out screenrant.com for the latest movie and TV news. Thanks for watching, guys. Check in next Saturday for a new pitch. So you have an Iron Man 3 script for me? Yes, sir, I do. Tony's been spending his time since the Avengers movie building a whole bunch of...
So I guess പതിപോലെ ഞാൻ സ്ട്രീം നിർത്തുവാണ് and പതിപോലെ goodbye GG's and to be continued. Bye bye.